And hello, everybody.
Hey!
Hello.
Happy Saturday.
Hello.
We are Hard Knock Dice, and this is our Eberron campaign. My name is Jonesy. I'm going to be your dungeon master for the evening, and these people surrounding me, not so menacingly, are the player characters and my best friends. Milo, your camera's messed up for some reason. I'm going to have to fix that. What in the world?
He looks good on my end.
No, not on Skype. It's on OBS. I think there's
I see.
I think I chopped his...
Oh, God.
I chopped his face off.
You look like Nick Merckx on stream.
There we go, guys.
Wait.
Sorry. See, what I didn't describe to you last session was when Milo came back, half of his head was missing.
Oh my God.
Jaw from here down gone, looking like Darth Malik.
Honestly, the fact that I'm still functioning is like really impressive.
Hello, everybody. I don't believe we have too much as far as announcements goes, unless you guys have anything. I'll just start off with check out your channel points below and also sub badges. They are here and drawn by this wonderful person right up here. So thank Kaushik, aka Brittany, for our awesome ass sub badges and flex on people with them because they are dope. Everybody point. There we go. Yeah, over here.
Brittany on the stream.
And then our channel points as well, with experience points now.
Right this way.
With some new rewards that you can choose. Anybody else got rewards or rewards? Anybody else got any sort of announcements or anything?
I got nothing.
Nothing? Nope.
Nothing.
Nothing? Nope. Okay.
Pollen sucks. There you go.
What? Pollen sucks?
Yeah.
That's apt.
Big back.
F druids, man. It's all their fault.
Really do.
Yeah, Archie.
I don't even know how to do any plant spells yet, okay? I'll learn. Don't worry, one of these days.
In that case, let's hop into our recap from last week, which is a whole lot of fighting as our intrepid group of heroes traveled into this somewhat of a demi-plane to seek out a magical disease that was affecting their friends Milo, and also, turned a bunch of elderly people in a village into rampaging fungal monsters. As you do, they track down the source of this magic, going through horrid environments and creatures, and after a long slog of events, finally made it to the source, finding in front of them this arcane cage from which this was originating from, and several different adversaries around it, seemingly the source of it. After a long and arduous fight, Milo, through some sort of miraculous cure, wakes from his coma and flies in to help save the party. After a difficult fight where several people went down multiple times, no one dying though, the party is standing around, healing up, licking their wounds at the moment, as the arcane cage on the far side, they see a woman with just a wild mane of red hair walk up to this sort of arcane gate that's holding her in as the magic starts to dim and flicker. So, party members, what would you like to do?
Oh, good.
I was just saying, I believe I left off hugging Kaushik, so it's probably smack dab in the middle of what I'm still doing.
Oh. Cross.
Yeah, I'm heading towards the cage, kind of still on a single track mind. I'll probably call over my shoulder. They'll go to come on.
All right. Are you okay, Malcolm? Maybe you should.
What do you think?
Maybe you should have a seat for a minute. I will go over there with him. Need to rest. Kind of.
Nobody's okay right now.
I know, but he only one person has recently died.
I don't know. I feel pretty good.
Just have a seat for a minute. If things get hairy, things get hairy, then we may need your assistance. But for now, just rest and Gandalf will make his way over towards the cage.
What are you talking? Let's go.
Okay. You guys. So who's all walking up to the cage? RTM, Gandalf, Gorum, anyone else?
I'll follow after.
Crowley. Okay. Kaushik
Sure.
and Milo just sort of hugging it out right now. Melgrim taking a seat and resting up. You guys make your way up to the cage. Minutes after the fiend dies, so do the magics that are surrounding this arcane cage. Slowly flickering out, the glyphs hovering in the air start to fade out of existence. The one by one, they just sort of vamping out of existence. The cage itself starts from the top, and the green energy you see shooting off of it stops. While it doesn't go out of existence completely, you see there is no longer a flow to it, no longer a movement to it. It sort of sits there and drifts midair, and after a couple of minutes, drifts down towards the ground, hits the ground, and turns inert. The top of the arcane cage itself, from top to bottom, just sort of starts disappearing out of existence. After which, and it hits the bottom, stepping forth, this woman no taller than about 5'2", wild red hair out from behind her, garbed in like green robes, it looks like. Just sort of steps out. Well, that was much appreciated.
Who are you? You care to explain yourself?
Surely, I'm sure you all have a bunch of questions. My name is Baraphis. You can just call me Bira.
You say Baraphis?
I did.
Okay.
Birraphys. Baraphis.
Interesting.
I'm sure you all have many of questions, but it also looks like, and she kind of glances over back towards Melgrim and Gandalf and all your various wounds around you, and RTM, all of you are looking incredibly rough right now. But perhaps I could offer you some food and some rest. I'm sure it's been some time since you've had something decent.
I'd like a little questions first. I mean, you're inside this cage and this green stuff's coming from you. I'm not really super trusting of you at the moment.
That's completely fair.
So like, are you a regular person? Are you like an archwizard? Are you an angel or some sort of crazy source of power?
We'll go with the last one. I was trapped here. This is a cage, and she kind of looks back to it. It was holding me in. I was not here willingly. And you hear RTM with your high passive perception. I'll say Crowley too. You kind of hear some rocks falling from over behind her. As you see Tico, the green-scaled kobold who had taken up a position just sort of overlooking the battlefield, is now scrambling down the rocks right now and making his way down. Sort of falls down once he gets about 20 feet, sort of, and like stands up and like scrabbles over to her and just like hugs her leg. Says, Tico, and sort of strokes his head.
This one was quite worried about your imprisonment and was quite helpful in letting us know where to find you, at least.
That is good. He and his friends have always been very loyal, so. Yes, it's a rather long story. I get that you don't trust me. That's completely worthy, but please know that I mean you no harm. Here.
Can I insight check that?
Yeah, sure. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I was gonna ask the same.
Go for it.
That's a 11.
16.
Okay. RTM, she's hard to read, really. She seems to mean what she says. Gandalf, you get about the same vibe from her. She's, while with a 16, I'll say you see she looks kind of gaunt. Currently she's very thin and looking somewhat frail, although spry. But she from with a 16, she means you no direct harm.
So do you know what the end goal of this whole thing was? The purpose, or what this even was? It was making us very sick.
And from what I've heard, I believe that was the entire goal. There's a lot to this. I can tell you the entire story right now, or I can tell you while you heal and we get some food. I'm hungry myself.
Where would this be coming from if you have been imprisoned for so long and appear to be on the weaker side at this time?
I may look weak, but I am just fine. Follow me. And she sort of beckons on. Your friends are, of course, welcome as well.
Where would we be going?
She sort of looks behind the cage and sort of gestures to this just huge wall behind the cage that just looks like sort of like the door that you guys found to this place. This huge matted vegetation and roots and plants and briars just sort of tied together in this tight knit. You see some areas on it with like axe marks and sword marks on it, but no real like breakthroughs or anything on it. She just sort of points back at it.
I will turn towards the rest of the party and have a questioning look on my face, like, well, what do you guys think?
It would be rude not to accept our invitation, especially after all the effort we've put through.
If she was going to kill us, she could have already done it. So let's just go.
And we do need to rest, so safe opportunity to do so would be welcome. Let's go.
Yeah, we're a little banged up.
Oh, hello, Milo. You're very sneaky
Hello,
nowadays.
Still has like
Very quietly.
Shred it up. Fucking everything right now.
You should probably fix that as well.
Yeah.
Melgrim, just like call out of the side. We are going to get something to eat and rest a bit.
Ah. Sounds good.
Indeed.
Okay. You guys just gonna follow her back behind the cage?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to retrieve my bow real quick. It is over by that rock.
Yeah, without a problem. Remembering your bow on the ground, you run back behind the rock and get it. The rest of you, while Gandoin sort of runs off really quickly to go do that, because remember, this cavern is massive. She walks up to this sort of matted vegetation that's just tied together, and as she walks up to it, when she gets about 20 feet from it, parts of it just start peeling back and moving. You see roots retracting and everything just moving back as she sort of starts walking through it, leaving an arched doorway fit enough for all of you to walk through right behind her.
Melgrim is going to pick up his hand axe and head towards the rest of the party.
Okay. All right. Did you guys gather all of your murder implements? Did you want to do something, Artyom, before you?
Yeah, I was gonna go to Milo and just kind of grab him by the face, just kind of look at him, wipe my thumb under his eyes a little bit, and then ruffle thing like, "Hey, you came in here just like you were right as rain. You're tougher than you look, little guy."
Well, hello to you too, Artyom. Thank you.
I'll give him a headlock-ish hug. Like, okay, let's go.
Noogie, noogie, noogie.
Artyom, as you sort of like brush under his eyes, you do see yellow crust from where his eyes were leaking the same fluid that Norgog's was as well. Norgog sort of not getting off the ground, hanging out with Melgrim, finally musters the strength. Oh, I got my ass kicked.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, Norgog. We did a little bit.
Sort of limping as he walks through here, holding his jaw. That bitch hit me with an iron pot. Jesus. He's sort of following you
Yes.
through.
I don't know about you guys. I'm going to need no clothes. It's like the ruins of a shirt at this point. Like, it's rough.
I can help you mend those up a little bit.
Well,
Okay.
well, it's good to see you back, Milo. And Meldrum's gonna go in for a hug. Like,
Good to see you guys alive.
Can I make a perception check to see if I can tell if anybody's still sick or symptomatic?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Uh, 21.
21. You
If
look
it's
around.
plus 7. Plus 7 for my perception.
Sounds
I
right.
don't know. Okay.
You sort of look over the ones you knew were sick. So you look at Gandalf, Milo, Norgog, looking them over. With a 21, you can't see Gandalf's feet at the moment. They're covered with boots. He is limping, but that could just be from the battle. Milo seems perfectly normal, other than some of the remnants of this yellow around his eyes. And it'll take some time. Right now, Norgog currently still has yellow around his eyes, though he seems to be wiping much less. That was worded weirdly. He seems to be wiping his eyes much less.
Oh my.
Nobody's coughing or anything still. Gandalf's cough is stopped, perhaps.
You've heard, you have your Norgog coughing every now and again, and Gandalf lets out one or two, but it doesn't, yeah. As you go on through the night, well, I'll say with that perception check, it's not immediately evident, but after a few moments of just intentionally watching out for this sort of thing, Gandalf's cough eventually fades out of existence, and so does Norgog's.
Do my feet start to feel better?
We'll get to that.
Okay. Damn it. Movement speed permanently reduced by 10. Fuck!
Oh, it goes to 20 tomorrow.
Oh, shit!
As you guys sort of gather up all of your murdering implements and sort of welcome back Milo, giving the hugs and whatnot, as half-hearted as they might be because of how hurt you are right now, you guys follow Barathas through this sort of arched wooden pathway. You walk into this room that is larger than the chamber behind you. This room is massive in scale. Above you, you see RTM. This looks familiar to you, actually, or it looks, or at least sounds familiar from what Barrick. I got too many B names in my head. We got Bill, Barathas, and Barrick right now. As what Barrick described to you as what looks to be some sort of sinkhole. Light vegetation all around the sides and everything, and so what looks to be somewhat obscured from the top portion of it. But you see sun just sort of filtering in through this area. That's sort of what's immediately available to you as you walk in. You look around the room, and you are greeted with the sights of massive dragon skulls. 7 of them sort of mounted against the wall. And then you, along with these things sort of pushed up against walls, you see various statues, artwork, gold, silvers, platinums, just sort of everywhere, lining the walls, jewels. And then also off to your far left, sort of up against the wall, you see a massive ship that just has a ring around it. It would be immediately recognizable to most people here, except for maybe RTM, since air travel is pretty new, that this is an airship in here. You guys sort of walk through, and Tico following very, very closely behind her, not really moving off of her heels. She sort of waves her hand, and as she does, this vine-like table sort of springs from existence as she conjures a hero's feast for you guys, and you just see a smorgasbord of meats, vegetables, hot drinks, cold drinks, ales, wines, this entire vine-like table, probably 12 foot in length, just covered. And she's as she looks at the table, and then she summons up 7 chairs for you guys, 8 chairs for Norgog, and then a 9th for herself at the head of the table.
What about Tico?
Oh, gods.
You see Tico as she sort of takes her seat. You see Tico sort of like scramble up to her and just sort of stands by her side.
Okay. As we kind of go to sit down again, I was going to look around, look at all the dragon skulls and stuff, and just, you must be a mighty sorceress to have slain so many mighty beasts.
What makes you say that I slew them? Have a seat, please.
Looking down, I mean, unless somebody else slew them. But
How long is the table?
About 12 feet.
Cool.
Yeah.
big table.
Yeah, Crowley will definitely sit down with all, like, you know, without a dinner jacket, but still looks like he has a dinner jacket on with the manners he's exuding. And he says, it is a fascinating collection nonetheless.
Milo's perched, just waiting for the starting pistol to go off.
Oh yeah, I bet Milo's hype.
I'm going to move up to the halfway point of the table. And I know it's like a hero's feast, so it's magical anyway, but Artyom doesn't know that. And he is going to kind of keep a sidelong look at this lady and cast Purify Food and Drink on the table.
She, as you sort of do that and aim at this plethora of food in front of you, you see her, so as she's beckoning for everybody to sit down, just sort of give you a curious glance and just sort of chuckle and shake her head.
Y'all getting the side eye. Milo don't want to be the one to start it, but he's certainly going to be the one to finish it. He hadn't eaten in days.
She seemed cool to Gandalf, so he sat down and just, all right, start eating.
Oh, yeah.
You kind of ate yesterday. Yeah. I moved your jaw with a granola bar in it.
Granola bar.
I would correct myself. Like, Crowley's standing, he's going to wait for her to sit, unless she's already sat down. Then he's going to seat himself.
Yeah, she's the first to sit down.
If Gandalf takes the first bite, then Milo's going to just, taking off, eating as much as he can fit in his mouth.
Eberron is going to gorge himself.
Okay.
Died.
Crowley is going to painstakingly, with manners, cut every piece of food.
Really?
Slowly and gentlemanly.
I like it.
Wait, where's the food go?
What do you mean?
Into your mouth?
Yeah.
No. He has the mask.
Haven't you ever seen G.I. Joe before?
Does he just like...
Don't worry about it.
We don't
don't worry
question
about it.
Crowley.
No, I know. I need to know.
Today we learned Gandalf doesn't know how to eat.
He has like a little grinder. He grinds it up and just sucks it through a straw in the smile.
He just holds it in front of it. Okay. I needed that clarification. Thank you.
No, there's a minor illusion. You just see the fork going through the mask and everything.
It works like Minecraft. He just holds it up to his face. And it's just
The mask opens up, teeth.
Jesus
oh,
Christ.
I would prefer all of those, but that one.
That's horrifying.
It's why I stated it.
Oh God, Crowley's the monster. Ah.
As you guys feast and rest, sort of, I guess, saving your questions until after the meal. And it is delicious. You guys gain 17 temporary hit points. Let me make sure I'm doing that right. You are immune to poison and being frightened, and you make all wisdom saving throws with advantage. You are cured of all diseases and poison, and your hit point maximum increases by 17, and you gain that amount of hit points.
Are they temp HP or is it increasing your HP?
It increases your HP. It's not temp HP.
Okay, so it's not temp HP. Okay.
Correct. It increases your HP by 17, and your HP max goes up by 17. These benefits last for the next 24 hours.
Gotcha.
And it sure is great to be above half health for the first time in a minute.
As you guys sort of sit here and feast, her doing sort of similar to you, Crowley, keeping her manners, is very polite. You see as she sort of sits out, she has all of the different forks and spoons on either side and uses the appropriate one. Very, very well mannered herself. And she sort of sits here and says, well, I have my own questions, but I'm sure you have more and yours are more pressing. However, hopefully your meal here shows that I mean you no harm. So, the table is open.
So, what was all that green stuff?
Your accent changed a little. RTO's accent changes when his mouth.
I have a mouthful.
Yeah, right. Well, from what I've been able to gather, that little group out there was some sort of sect of what's called the Children of Winter, if you've ever heard of them. They've been looking for... Okay, a quick explanation. You look somewhat confused. Children of Winter are a group of radicals who seek to bring the end to the world. And that's about all I care to know about them. And it seems like what they were trying to do with this as well, through some sort of... There's a little bit more to it, but through some magics, were able to sort of extract some of my essence and corrupt it. And that seems to be the after effects.
Okay.
Well, they're dead as shit now, right?
Well, they are.
Not the entirety of them, I assume.
Will more of them be coming through you to try to do the same thing?
These were employed. Well, the cults... Milo, I believe they've said your name a few times. Milo, the cults spring up. You probably know this. They're like hydras. You cut off one head, another one appears. So.
I don't know much about cults.
What's that?
Hail Hydra. He said he doesn't know much about cults.
Well, they function just as so. They're like, how about cockroaches? Then you step on one and there's always another around. So they're pests. They never go away. Excuse the pun, but they are a plague on society.
So, what is your spiel here?
I'm sorry, what is my what?
What Swallow? What are you doing here? Like, this is your domain. I think we are going through, like, we were not in the Edge of Bree anymore. So, do you live here? Are you taken here?
I've lived here for some time, yes. This is... Well, this has been my home for some time.
And where are we, though?
She sort of gives you a curious glance. Did you just stumble here?
No, we
kind of.
Okay.
I mean, we like that. Is there any of the green stuff in this room?
No. At this point, it's sort of all dissipated and is out of.
Oh, that the corrupted energy that they were taking from you, it was going in like a line in the through the air, and we followed it through everywhere. That is terrible, apparently.
Gotcha. She doesn't say gotcha, I do. As I need to look
But I
at
say, like, damn.
We're not very
she's
complicated
chillaxing.
people. But some of our friends got sick and we had to take care of the situation. And
Right.
that's simple.
Couldn't very well have it spreading, could we?
Indeed.
Well,
Killed
lot of you
a bunch of old people.
That's it.
Oh gosh, are they going to... Yeah, they're super dead no matter what now.
I mean, they were already dead, and it's killed a little girl's uncle. That's the whole reason we came in the first place.
Well, would they have been okay? Are you sure? What if all that stuff just flakes off of them and they'd be perfectly fine?
I'm pretty
Lady,
Sure.
There's people like the big ones over, and I'll point to like one of the mushroom mounds. Is it still a mound of mushrooms, or is it just like a couple of skeletons sitting there or some crazy shit?
Well, it's back in the other room. Do you go back
Oh
and
yeah.
run
Well,
in
no,
and check?
I'll just like gesture out the door or whatever. Those two big mushroom guys up there.
Yes.
Are they curable? They're dead now.
As far as I know, that there's no cure to that. And you'll remember, or one of you remember, I believe it's Melgrim who cut one clean in half. On the inside of this thing, there was just a skeleton.
Oh.
Yeah. So this fungus doesn't seem like it would have just flaked off and they would have been fine. It seems like it very much enveloped them and devoured them.
Ganowin, looks like you got fungus feet forever.
I'm about to not have any feet.
Oh, bone
apparently.
toes.
Good thing we're in Eberron. I get new legs. Get new feet.
You got new
Oh
legs.
God.
As to your question, where are we? Well, we're in a bit of a special place. Not familiar how familiar you are with plains and overlapping plains. But we're in a bit of a overlapping plain of Thelanius and Lumania. It didn't always used to be like this. Things have changed severely in the last few months.
There are parts of it that are on fire.
But they, okay. Yeah, not to Linton. Okay.
You say this and she knows it, or at least it wasn't surprising.
And then other parts that are like evil swamps.
Disgusting smelling.
They were awful. They had these big trolls that were like rotting perpetually. I don't know what that word means, but over and over again. I heard somebody smarter than me say it one time. It sounded right.
Oh, can't of it.
What?
Like I said, you're in a place in between. My own little pocket that I found, unfortunately, someone else found it as well. So.
Well, you should probably get some defenses. It looks like you can kill dragons and have ring boats and all kinds of other stuff in here. How did they manage to do such a thing?
She looks sort of down at the table. She says, well, part of it may have been just my hubris as well. They were invited here.
Is he another kobold?
Do what?
I asked who hubris was. Was he another kobold?
Hubris, pride.
You invited him here. That's a bold move. Why?
Made a bold move. One, because I thought I could handle it, and two, because I was in desperate need of something.
Of what?
Did you get that something in the end?
No, I didn't. I'm going to be very forthright because you very well could have saved my life. I thought I could handle whatever they threw at me. I made a deal with what would essentially be the one giving those out their orders. Not the one you slew, but their boss, if you will.
Wait, that wasn't the boss?
Do you think that creature, and she sort of looks around at the walls, could have put me in that cage?
I don't know.
I don't know.
She hit pretty hard.
I have a limited experience with powerful beings. I usually work with, engineers.
Well,
hey, there's all kinds of things that happen. Maybe she got you while you were sleeping or something like that. Regardless,
she just sort of chuckles.
It's pretty terrible. So you mean to say that you bit off more than you could chew, and you almost got us, and did get a lot of other people killed because of it? Don't get me wrong, I'm kind of, it's my thing is probably biting off more than I can chew, so I understand, but it's there's a lot of people hurt by this.
I understand. And I'm not gonna say that I feel good about it. I had to do what I needed to do to try and save my child. You see, as she says this, Tico sort of like snaps his head towards the ground almost immediately. And she just sort of like just looks down and looks away from her, like physically shaken. And she just sort of looks over at him, and again just sort of patting the scales on the back of his neck. She says, "Don't worry, Tico, I already know." Which he just sort of presses up against her. My child was sick, and I came across something that could have helped. I made a deal to do so, thinking that I could handle the consequences. It is probably better for me to show you. Are you all full? She sort of beckons at the table.
Milo increases the rate at which he starts eating.
I don't mean to rush you at all.
Dabs at mask. Looks down.
God damn it.
Squints at Crowley.
Yeah. Like when you walk towards a dog that's eating and it frantically starts eating faster because it's afraid you're going to take the food bowl away. That's
What have you got in your mouth? What have you got? Choose faster. Damn it.
She says it's not
All
going
right,
anywhere.
Milo, calm down.
We can come back. I like to imagine Crowley's, just the mouth of Crowley's mask is an illusion, so he can just put it straight through the illusion and eat.
I'm just imagining Crowley doing magic tricks where he's got like a chicken leg, and then he just has like a handkerchief, and there's just like a bone.
Dear God.
Okay.
Milo will put a couple of biscuits in his pocket or something and take a chicken leg out with him.
Okay.
I will take the rest of the chicken with me.
Right. Grabbing whatever you would like to take with you as you have the first good meal you've had in some time.
First meal.
Yeah. Well, Milo, when you sit down to eat this meal, you do this, pull out the back of your teeth, you get just a big, like, half-digested hunk of granola that's just been sitting in your mouth for a while. You have no clue how that got there. You kind of rubbed a spot raw in the top of your mouth.
I did my best.
As you guys follow her to the back of this chamber, sort of getting closer to these massive dragon skulls, she sort of steps up, and as she does, stairs sort of appear under her feet one at a time in the form of vines and vegetation, and she just sort of steps up to the lip of this sort of sinkhole at the top.
Quick question: do we have a short rest while we were eating?
Yeah, I'll say throughout this entire time you get a short rest. Yeah. So, but I mean that meal, she waited for you guys to finish eating and everything, so yeah, you have a short rest in. So if you would like to roll any hit die or anything like that, feel free to go ahead. And you get all of your short rest abilities back and all that good stuff. But as she sort of steps up these vine stairs, I assume everybody sort of following after.
Yeah.
She steps up onto this, and you are now on top of the plateau. She, looking around you currently, just all sorts of luscious vegetation Artyom, a familiar sight to you as you sort of look into this this sinkhole on top of this plateau. Looking all around you now, seeing very clearly where you came from here. However, as she sort of walks opposite of the direction that you guys came from, she just sort of stares off into the distance, and as the rest of you, it is immediately noticeable. Days or even weeks of travel away, but completely visible just due to the sheer colossal nature of it. As your eyes sort of travel along this sort of everything else but this lush vegetation area, everything else is barren wasteland, and in the distance you see an infinitely massive rift in the sky. From this open rift, you can see only what your mind can comprehend as roots twisting and writhing as they pour from the mouth of this rift like a world-ending waterfall. All of them out, and you can see movement from this distance even as these things sort of pour out of this rift and on out of it and just towards the ground.
Well, that's fucking horrifying.
Huh. You should do something about that for sure.
Horrifying is a word for it. You said something, Artyom. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I said you should do something about that for sure.
Well, I believe even with my abilities that I lack the power to handle exactly what this is. Have you ever, and she sort of looks at all of you, have you ever heard of Zoriat? The Dalkir?
Would a knowledge history check determine if I'd heard those? Or knowledge arcana?
Yeah, I'll give you either one of those. Tell me what you rolled. They'll both get you kind of different things.
Yeah, I'd like to roll history.
Only if we've got proficiency in said skills.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I have never heard of that. I have no idea what that is.
A dirty 20 for arcana.
21 for history.
And a 17 for history.
Okay. What'd you say, Artyom?
Pretty good. That he's a bard than Wycliffe. He's pretty good.
Milo, with your Arcana check, you know that the plane of Zoriat is a plane of madness. Very akin to the Far Realm, as you probably, as we would know it. It is a plane of horrors and madness, and you know that it is dominated by a group or a sect, or that no one knows really their organization, but they're dominated by beings called the Dalkir. Crowley, with a 21 history check, you would know that the Dalkir have actually tried an insurrection on the material plane long ago and were fought off by various organizations from the material plane. Some people believe that the Dalkir still lurk beneath the world in Kyber, yeah. So it's very like esoteric knowledge, but with those high rolls, that's sort of the information that you get from it. So Milo, you know about the plane of Zoriat, and from what you've heard about it, this giant rift with just twisting and writhing roots pouring from it, that sounds about right.
Yeah. When she says, "Do you know about Zoriat?" I'll look at the rift again and be like,
"Yeah, that tracks."
What is Zoriat?
Yes. Somebody, please explain.
Just like a whole like realm of insanity and terrible things.
Well, it is pronounced with a Z. I thought it was Zoriat. Sorry. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I don't know like a whole lot about it. I haven't been, obviously, but it was brought up in some classes.
Luckily, they
pray
were
you
repelled.
never go.
I am.
You said that was the information that Milo got with an 18 on Arcana?
20.
20.
For the 20. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So, it is trying to get into your whatever this place is. You said this weird in between.
Unfortunately, there is no more trying. I've allowed it to.
Oh.
Oh, this just happened.
Yeah. This is about. She thinks back. Probably. At this point, it would be 6 months, and it has already done all of this. And she sort of just looks around at the barren wasteland. It's like everything has died off.
Wait. So you said you made deal with whatever those guys' leaders were.
Avash.
That thing is leader of Children of Winter?
Well, that's not a...
Whatever is causing that to come into your realm
yes.
is what? Oh. That is hard. That is not good.
This is a... but shouldn't this be like your thing?
Shouldn't this be like my thing? I'm sorry, you'll have to elaborate a little bit.
No,
more.
I said Norgog.
Oh.
I was addressing Norgog.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking to her. Shouldn't this be your thing? What are you asking, Norgog?
About Zoriak creeping into the world or this place.
This is, well, you'll have to remember I was sent south because I wasn't the best. But yeah, I mean, protecting our realm, not theirs though. But this is the sort of thing we stop. Why would you ever? And just sort of looking at this thing in horror.
Well, I mean, we walked in here from Corvair. I mean, this thing is just a few miles away. Like, that seems... Lady, you need to get the fuck out of your house. Like, just move. Like, this is bad. We can't let that get back into Corvair. Well, like, I know you're super powerful, but, I mean, just go somewhere else.
Your concern for me is endearing, indeed. Corvair, and at the rate that this is spreading, luckily, and you see, I mean, this is miles and miles off at this point in the opposite direction that you came from. She says, I came from Corvair as well. I'm aware of the entry points through the Eldritch Forest. It's only accessible maybe a few days or weeks throughout the year. But...
Oh shit, that means are we stuck?
When did you come in?
A few days ago?
Like 3? I can't remember anymore.
Had one rest since we got in here.
We had, it's like
but we went all
2 days.
One night, so.
Like 2 days closing on 3?
It varies year to year, but it is...
Oh, shit.
Don't worry, you're not stuck here. Not as long as you're with me. But you could always... We'll check for you.
I'm going to pull out my phone and furiously start texting Lord Aelfred. Like, man, you gotta get us out of here. Come on.
I don't know all the stories about Zoriat. I know it's bad, and the Delkir, they're like tentacle people, or something like that. But yeah, like this is even worse than people getting sick. I mean, this is end of the world. Everyone eyeballs kind of fall out of their head and try to eat them type kind of stuff, right? Like, this is very, very bad. Like, we shouldn't even be here right now.
It's very oddly specific.
It's crazy.
You're not wrong. I don't think you should be here. I encourage you to leave with haste, but I figure it would be rude of me not to give you at least some answers before I hurried you away. This is awful, and I will spend my time here, however much longer that I do have, trying to stop it.
Does this place have like an actual name? So that, I don't know, if we could tell somebody else, like Norgog works with a bunch of druid people and be like, oh yeah, go to like, the Sinkhole Plateau place, and they've got Zoriat there now.
No, I doubt anybody's heard of this place. I've been hiding here for some time, and I chose it for that exact reason.
Sometime like a few months, or like sometime like you've been here for like 200 years kind of thing.
Roughly about 450 years now.
Oh my.
Oh,
That is a very long time.
that's a long time for a dwarf.
Yes.
All right. Well, I guess, yeah, you've really messed up a lot here.
I am aware.
I thank you for showing us this and making me very afraid.
Is it like stoppable by you, or do you have like friends that can help, or that's a little out of our depth?
She looks around, and you notice this plateau is filled with vegetation, but it is silent other than the winds. There are no animals, and with the exception of Tico, you guys have seen, and the things that have tried to kill you, you have seen little to no wildlife. She says, I hid here because I do not have friends. I will do my best to stop it, but the Dalkir that I made the deal with has already defeated me once. With some planning.
Make friends.
You got like a card we could get from you? Like come back here or something like that?
I mean,
you found it to begin with in the Eldritch Forest. As I said,
yes, but
every
it's
year,
like only a few days that we can get in.
She nods her head.
Because
like a calendar
must,
or something.
Yeah,
I can kind of remember. Well, how we got here, but do you know when the next time we could come back might possibly be?
My last trip to the material plane, it was just becoming fall. Because seasons don't, and time doesn't really work the same here. What time is it there? Is the month or the season? Anything?
It was just turning into winter.
yes.
It tracks. The next time you're probably looking at is next winter.
I have to ask.
Level 18 RSVP.
How long do you think you can hold out against this?
Yeah, is this like a 30-day thing or like a 3,000 years thing?
Yes, will it still be possible to return here a year from now, and it still not be completely consumed by Zoria?
That is an answer that I wish I could give you. Unfortunately, I have no idea. I don't know how successful I will be.
You said there are other entry points
to
this plane, aside from the Eldritch Forest.
Not many that I'm aware of.
Could you tell us where the ones you are aware of are?
All of them filter out into the Eldritch Forest.
Well,
and only at certain times.
Localized.
Well, I was going to ask you for, I don't know, some type of reward for saving you, but you're probably going to need all the help that you can get.
You would not have to ask for a reward. I had been very prepared if you succeeded to reward you.
Fantastic. Because we have been getting our asses kicked a lot recently. It has been rough.
Yeah, this is a pretty shitty.
Who are you telling?
I said we. I said we. What do you
I
mean?
know.
Honestly,
I just died.
Hey,
I've been happy
Dungeon
with
Master.
the trip on the airship to avoid going through the forest again, quite honestly.
That would be nice. I mean, this is. It could like this is really bad because if they defeat you, then whenever the next time it is possible to cross over between into Corvair, it is going to be a shit show. And yeah.
And let us hope that I succeed.
I mean, yes, but also, is there like anything that is especially useful against these tentacle things and Zoriat in general that we could like find or send your way?
Tentacle is just one, and she looks around her
Oh.
again.
Oh no.
And like looking at roots, these look like twisted, horrible, slithering roots of plants. She says,
Well,
Dalkir's a madness of many different types.
Shit.
I'm sorry, Zoriat. The Dalkir specifically that I dealt with, Avash, is known as the twister of roots. They are known as the very corruption of nature.
You said Avash?
Avash. Avash.
Twister of roots. Okay. Well, I guess that is something we should keep on our on a note or something that we probably should spread the word of this. How bad would it be if we like told a lot of people about the entrances to this plane in the Eldritch Forest, just in case, so they might be able to help handle this?
She sort of squints her eyes at you. She says,
I'm just saying, you said you might not be able to hold it, and if it gets into the material plane, we're fucked. Or Corvair, I don't know what the material plane is necessarily, but like I mean, I know that you would lose like your privacy, but would that be better, like having to find some new digs as opposed to like the whole like being dead and then it's screwing over like everybody that's over there?
if I'm unsuccessful, I'm not appreciating the lack of faith at the moment. However,
You said he already kicked your ass.
Yeah, to be fair, we did
more
get
planning and with leverage.
Okay, that's wonderful. If you're that confident, then maybe we won't bother. But you have to understand, it is concerning.
I understand. As
So,
few as you possibly can.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, we'll do that.
I will practice discretion.
I do not know what that word means, but okay.
I'm intentionally failing the deception check.
I mean, at this point, what do you mean you're failing the deception check that you plan on telling everybody? Is that sort of what you're getting at?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, fuck this. I mean,
it doesn't really matter how many people you tell about this. If whether I'm successful or not, this you won't have access again for another year, at least.
It is why I am concerned, at least. Like, that's a long time.
Do you have anything here that could be used as proof that this place was touched by Zoriat?
That's a very good point. People who are important wouldn't believe us.
Right. I'm kind of just a drunk.
Just looks down at clothes. Like...
I saw you shapeshift, and she looks at you, Artyom.
No.
Can you fly?
Not really.
Not really.
I can.
You can fly.
I've been working on it.
Do you want to like have somebody go get some of it?
I don't see many other choices.
Out of character, real quick.
Go ahead.
I cannot fly until I level up, which I haven't done yet because we haven't had a long
We
rest.
have not had a long rest.
So technically, I can't fly yet.
I got you. Okay.
Um,
Well, why doesn't everybody? We'll consider this conversation of food everything. Go ahead and level up your characters. I think most of you have anyways on D&D Beyond. So.
kind of.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, go ahead and hit it, guys. Level 8.
Okay. So. Oh God, where's my shit? Oh, it says I'm level 8, but it didn't give me my stuff. Goodness gracious! Well, this is terribly exciting.
She sort of walks up to the edge of this plateau, looking out. The only way that I know how to tell you is, if you want proof, then there lies our proof. I would rather the least number of us go as possible, and it would be quick. I've been out there before. We'll be fine as long as we stay low and away from the rift itself.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll my portents real quick just before I forget. $19 and $10.
Okay.
Well, I can't fly at all, so I'm just going to stay here, probably.
Very well. If you would like, while we're gone, Serdorf, look around. And she has this hesitation on her face. Be mindful of what and how much you grab. You have done me a great favor. But that deserves a reward nonetheless. She
Swear to God, James, if you ask for her fucking hair, I'm gonna be pissed.
Crowley is going to performance moonwalk all the way to the airship.
Okay. All
right. If we are going to be going back, go ahead, Gorm. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just saying, we're gonna leave, and I'm gonna look for some loot.
Okay. All right. She says, "So you can't fly then?"
Yeah, I can fly. It'll be fun.
Couldn't fly 3 minutes ago. Now we can.
She looks at you curiously, Milo, and sort of looks over your suit. How fast can it fly? You fly?
About as fast as I can run, maybe a little faster.
You may fall behind, but if you wish, follow along. Very well. The rest of you,
I could probably carry a couple of you guys if you want. Maybe not you, Milo. You're super probably heavy.
I hate to reiterate this, but the lower we stay and the least amount of people that we have is probably the better.
All right, never mind.
So I guess we will look around.
You're all looking quite rough. This is just my insight into the situation. If all of you want to stick together, I mean, be my guest. I will be taking no one.
I mean,
they'll be all right.
This is definitely seems like a quick and in and out kind of job will be best. Both of you just be very careful.
We should be
okay. Fine. I will shapeshift into a Quetzalcoatlus.
She jumps off the plateau.
I will awkwardly walk around for a second and then jump off after her.
Okay. Milo, are you following along with or no? You gonna hang behind?
Yeah, if I'm not going to be able to keep up, there's not really a point.
Okay. In that case, I will get to the rest of you guys who are kind of looting and plundering in a minute, and me and RTM will take a journey.
Okay.
RTM,
80-foot fly speed. Let's speed on through there.
Okay. Unfortunately, she's not flying right now. She's falling towards the bottom of this cavern. In her human form, just sort of heading straight towards the bottom. She gets about 40 feet above the ground when you see a transformation happen. This woman, no more than 5'2" and fiery red hair, transforms into an ancient green dragon and flies through the cavern, hauling ass through these caverns towards this rift. Falling behind a little bit as you guys just staying low in between the plateaus as best you can. Her wingspan's at some points getting close, and she just sort of holds her wings and just sort of drifts in between, and then picks it up when the caverns are wide enough again. You falling somewhat behind, but keeping on her as best you can. She is not hard to spot.
I'll just fly above the canyons. She's just showboating. I'm new to this whole flying thing.
You hear in your mind, I said to stay low, please.
Shit. Okay, I'll try to get lower.
Okay. As you guys make your way through these caverns, eventually breaking out into this cracked, dry wasteland. It takes you some time to get there, as this just expanse of wasteland is here now. As you guys, as we just sort of cut forward, you guys get closer to the base of this. You see her get about 10 feet off the ground, slow down, transform back, and it's probably about a 20-minute walk or so away from this this rift. You just landing behind her?
I don't want to touch the ground. I'll just kind of flap around there in the air a little bit.
Okay. She gets closer to this sort of the bottom of this. You see, as you're just looking over these roots writhing and falling, one root just probably 2,000 feet in length and maybe a 50-foot in width. It is massive as it just falls out of this portal, slams against the ground, sending dust and dirt everywhere, and then you just see the end of it start anchoring itself down into the dirt. You sit here and you sort of look up at the rift itself, getting a brief glimpse into the plane of Zoriat.
I don't want to look at that.
I'd like you to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Hey, thanks for being a class star.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because that's a 1 and a 13, which is an 18 total.
18 total? Okay.
Oh, wait. I think I'm proficient in that. So that is a 21.
Okay. All right. No issues. She's sort of hiding behind there. It sort of beckons you down, looking quizzically at you as you're just sort of flying over.
Yeah, I mean, if she's beckoning me down, I'll land next to her.
Okay. Speaking into your mind, she's just like, you can only do this once.
I can do it a couple of times.
Okay,
but
then we may want to do that because this form is not the most subtle. We're trying to be as small and granted, I don't think we're going to have any issues. We still want to try to avoid as many eyes as we can.
Okay.
And trust me, Zoria has plenty of eyes to spare.
I will drop my form.
Okay. She runs up and not seeing the moon dagger on your hip. She says, do you have a cutting implement of some sort?
Nope.
You have nothing. Okay. Well, it looks like we will be
I can jump onto these things off with my shield. It'll be fine.
Okay. RGM, as you sort of you're gonna take the stego plate.
Yes.
All right. As you guys sort of sneak, I would like you to roll just a general stealth check for me.
Sure. It's a 16 plus 3.
Okay. Yeah, that's good enough. You don't really notice much. Still, just sort of sitting here every now and again. You swear you hear whispers coming from this rift, just sort of out into the atmosphere. Thousands of voices or so. You start to get somewhat of a headache being around this the rift itself as you guys get closer and closer. As you're walking up here, the piercing the whispers sort of turn into this high pitched like tinnitus almost, just being this close in proximity. And at one point, there's sort of a breaking point for you. What'd you say you rolled? It was a 20?
21.
21? Okay. There seems to be somewhat of a breaking point for you as it sort of overwhelms your consciousness. She sort of stops and looks back at you to sort of make sure you're okay, and you see her beckon and sort of shake your eyes and shake your head again. Like closing your eyes, trying to get this tinnitus like out of your ears. It's sort of overpowering your faculties at the moment. You look back up at her. Well, what was her? She's different now. You see a different female in front of you. You turn your head away, and as your gaze flicks back to her, it's no longer Barathas in your gaze. You're eye to eye with a woman, nearly as tall as you are, probably 6'2" or 6'3" and muscular. She is clad in leathers and dark bark armor. She's dark braided hair and these piercing lavender eyes looking right at you. She grips your bare forearm and looks at you and says, "I'll see you on the other side." And
Wait, my bare forearm?
yes,
Like I don't have bracers on?
that is correct.
Okay.
As she says, "I'll see you on the other side," you see her start to grow fangs. And you sort of turn your head back towards what the rift would be. The rift is no longer there. And the roots are no longer there. You sort of look over and you see a ziggurat, sort of a man-made temple. At the top of it, a solid golden eye with a wing above it. You look back towards the woman you were just looking at, and you see Barathas again. She says, "What are you doing? We need to do this quickly."
My eyes are playing tricks on me. I got just kind of little wide eye. Gonna keep my eyes down. Don't look at other things. Just get this thing chopped. Like, oh shit.
All the more reason for us to get out of here. This plane can affect you in ways. Come on. She takes you to this sort of offshoot of a root that seems to have a growth just coming out of the side of it, thinner than the other ones, however, still quite large. As you get close to it, it is anchored into the ground. This one itself is probably only about 2 feet in width, going straight into the earth, but also has several different offshoots of it, like spider webs almost shooting into the ground as well. What would you like to do?
I'll try to get one of the spider webs, I guess. If it's something that's sizable enough for me to be able to carry with me.
Yeah, they're about a quarter size thick, these things that are the sort of offshoots from this one.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just make a strength check for me.
Shit. That's an 8.
You sit it, and it seems to be sort of just too too pliable at the moment. It seems to just sort of bend with your shield not really being too sharp.
Right. You want to give me a hand here? You're a fucking dragon. No offense.
I don't want to touch this shit.
You think I want to touch it either? I get to carry it with me.
You have a shield. She grabs a hold of it on either side, and you see this 5'2" form. She stretches it out, and you hear like a almost scream come from the root itself. She says, "Hit it, go." Roll with advantage.
Hey. Okay, that's a 19.
Okay. As she sort of stretches it out thinner, and you just hear, As she does, you cut it in half, and she pulls the root up from the ground. As she does, it is not still at the moment. It is moving and writhing. She takes it and like sort of lassos it up and hands it to you.
Yeah, I'll throw it in a pouch and seal it up, and then put it in another pouch.
Okay. All right. Right. Well, let's move along. And she sort of starts running.
We're done now, right? Yeah, we're done.
Yeah, she's running from
Yeah,
him.
okay. Yeah, let's go.
She starts off running and then just sort of, with one leap, back into her dragon form and takes off.
Yeah, I will commence to boogie as a Quetzalcoatlus.
Artyom says it's like a gallon of milk. He double bags that shit.
Yeah.
The rest of you sort of make your way winding down into this cavern of infinite treasures. You sort of look around here. There's mostly artwork and statues from what you see. There's along with gems, gold, platinum, it looks like, and then obviously the dragon skulls and the airship itself. I know Crowley said he was going over to the airship. Would anybody like to do anything else or look for anything specific?
Looking around for useful tools and gadgets or whatever.
I would be looking around.
A magic weapon.
For
That's all I
diamonds.
care about. Melkram needs a magic weapon.
Melkram is looking for a weapon.
Is there a diamond anywhere in this? I'm looking for diamonds.
Looking for a
Norm's
diamond?
Yeah.
for armor.
Diamond armor? Okay.
Melkram is looking for two things. A weapon that looks like it could be versatile, two-handed and also one-handed, and possibly a shield.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find
very
a
specific.
lighter armor too, like a half plate or breastplate as well.
I'm looking for a dragon familiar.
Oh gosh.
Just kidding.
Um,
I'm just curious.
Tico
not to
is
be
right there.
Yeah, not to be too
Not to
crazy.
be
How
racist.
big is this airship, Jones? I don't want to just, I grabbed not a yacht, but a cruise liner. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping it's like, not that.
We're big ballin'.
Airships at this point are pretty standardized. Airships have been in Corvair for maybe 8 to 10 years. They are all fairly massive. So this looks like a standardized airship. From what you've seen, this is not a small vessel. And it's just sort of leaned up against the side of this wall. The ring itself, like sort of half cocked around it and leaned up against the side.
We'll look over the side and see if there's like a smaller vessel on the other side.
There's a smaller vessel? No, you don't see any other smaller vessel. Kaushik, for diamonds, go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
It's an 11.
An 11? It's not a hard check, as there are a plethora of gems around the floor and sort of embedded in these. It does take you some time, though, with a check of an 11. As most of this stuff is overgrown, as you guys start to sort of like peel your way through this stuff, there are just like briars and vines growing through this gold. Like she has just sat it in the corners and left it there. Her main prizes seem to be mounted on the wall. So as you guys sort of, Kaushik, as you sort of digging through this pile of gems that you found, rubies and onyxes and the like, you find three rather large diamonds. You can have them appraised to figure out their worth.
Sweet. Can I take some gold too?
How much gold are you taking?
I don't know. I don't know. Never mind. I don't want to.
Don't you have like a bag of holding?
Yeah. Oh, are we concerned about the weight? I was concerned about taking too much. I didn't want to take too much from her.
Does she
Just
look
be
like
classy.
she's
Just, an eyeball. Whatever's
You just
in
saw
my
that she was
peripheral.
a fucking dragon, so And she also said she can't get to you for another year. So, I mean, if we get out of here, we're at least golden for a solid year.
You also know that she took down this airship once. Anyways, Milo, you're looking for tools of any sort?
Interesting gadgets, like non-weapon things.
Okay. Make an investigation check for me.
Oh no. Mr. Camera? Camera, please.
Camera, please.
22.
22. With a 22, you find Lucifer.
What?
Huh?
You find with a 22, you find sort of Artyom. Are you gone forever? There you go.
Oh, there it is. Holy crap!
Oh no!
What?
It was there briefly, but it was there, and it was terrifying. You, as you look through these things, looking for tools, you're not really finding anything on the ground. From what you've noticed, even with Kaushik sort of digging through this pile of gems, everything that's sort of just on the floor and scattered about is mostly just gold and currency and gems and whatnot. You sort of looking over some statues, and on one of the statues, sort of it almost looks like it's part of it because it's so dusty. But with a 22, you kind of look at it for a second, look at the other side of this statue you're looking at, as you see this guy in just sort of a large leather duster, the statue of a guy in a large leather duster, these odd goggles on that seem to sort of stick out to you, and some sort of wand in his hand, and it's sculpted as if he's in some sort of like battle pose almost.
And you said the goggles are a part of the sculpture, or they're on the sculpture?
They're on the sculpture, but with a 22 investigation check, because they're so dusty on the sides and on the lenses themselves, they look gray, similar to the statue itself. But as you sort of walk up to it, they don't look attached.
Well, I will finish unattaching them. Was the wand also unattached, or was that part of the sculpture?
Would you like to check?
Yes, I would.
Make a strength check.
Snap. Oh.
A total of 16.
Okay. You reach up to the wand. The concrete wand breaks in your hand.
Going to.
It's indeed part of the statue.
Throw it away. Wasn't me.
Yo, get some glue. They'll never notice.
Hey, I got artisan's tools. I can make a check to fix it.
He's over there like with a blowtorch.
Make an artisan's tool check.
With the power of Flex Seal.
That is a 23.
You sort of crack it off, and everybody is sort of off doing their various things, looking at all of this treasure that they've been sort of given free reign over. And you look at the concrete wand, and you quickly take some strong glue and sit there and just hold it for a second, act like you're admiring the statue. Release. It looks like it's been sealed there. It's good to go.
All right, and I will ritually cast Identify on the gogs.
Okay, that'll take you about 10 minutes to do, but we'll get there.
Yep.
All right. Gorham, you were looking for armor?
Yes.
Any specific armor?
Full plate, if I can find some.
Okay. Make an investigation check for me.
I rolled a 13.
13. You're looking around, you're looking for metal. Unfortunately, you're not seeing a lot of metal armor. But you do come up very much like Milo on another statue. This statue is adorned in has like this long glaive in their hand, concrete, but the tone of the armor that it's wearing right now does not match does not match the color of the statue. It looks like scaled armor, and you take for a second. Doors are, fairly competent when it comes to the armoring field. So I would say without much of an issue, this is dragon plate is what it looks like. You can't tell the color from all of the dust and stuff on it. But if you would like to roll a D8 for me and then go up to this armor, you're very, very welcome to.
We'll roll a D8. 7.
7?
Sib.
Sib?
Sib.
As you go up to it, and it makes sense as you sort of dust it off as the silver these silver dragon scales sort of reveal themselves to you, sort of blending in with the dust and the gray of the statue.
Oh yeah, I'm taking that.
Okay.
I only no questions asked.
As you undress this statue, we'll go on to the next, and I'll give you guys stats on these things after the fact. Melgrim, you were looking for a weapon, and you were very specific about it. What did you say?
I am looking for a weapon that appears as if it can be
talking normal terms.
Wielded. Talking what?
Normal terms to me.
As if it's versatile, so it can be dual two-handed or one-handed, and potentially a shield.
Okay. All right. You throwing me for a loop, Melgrim? Crowley, what are you looking for? Give me a second, Melgrim. We'll come back to you.
I was just looking to see if this airship could be piloted with how much it would need to get out of here.
I'm going to see if it's operable?
Yeah.
Okay. Easily enough to find the ladder. You sort of climb up on the side of it. Fairly similar to a boat with different... obviously no sails on this thing at all.
Let's assume I'm proficient with airships for the time being.
Let's assume you're proficient with them?
Like a level 8 proficient. Suddenly, I know how to fly.
Well, we can get to that. If you would like to, you're just going to see if it's operable?
Yeah.
Okay. Just roll me an investigation check. And this is just going to be you looking for piloting and controls and everything that you need.
I need to see my bonuses because I'm still like in character advancement page. 1 second. How terrible. 23.
Okay. I was about to say how terrible. It's like, wait a minute. Without an issue, you sort of walk over towards the helm of the ship, towards where it would be steered. There's a wheel there, but it almost looks, as you sort of play around with it, it's like almost ornamental. And you sit there and you sort of grip it for a moment, and sort of sitting here with the ship. It feels as almost the ship might be talking back to you. You sit here for a second. And you feel just a sense of waiting. What would you like to do?
Hover.
Hover?
Hover.
Make a charisma check for me.
Oh, okay. Just a flat charisma.
Yep, flat charisma check.
Is the ship in its inert capacity that it's like hovering 10 feet above the ground, or is it like completely off?
Currently, it is like off and laid up against the wall.
Oh.
16.
16? You see the ring itself. These runes start to light up on each side of it. On the top of it, sort of where this meets, bands of mithril and copper along this dark wood meet at this sort of polyhedron ball at the top of this ring that also has runes on either side that starts sort of undulating with energy. And everyone hears it as this starts to happen, as the you see the ring itself just sort of start springing fire from these runes, slowly, and then they sort of the entire ring itself catches on fire as the ship sort of rights itself, and it's just sort of hovering there in this space.
Captain Crowley's back, baby.
Oh dear God! Now we can fly.
Gandalin, what are you looking for?
Oh geez. In a similar capacity to Milo, but not exactly the same. Not necessarily gadgets, but things that look like they are worn, but are magical. Like any pieces of like magical jewelry or necklaces, or just magical pieces of clothing in general.
Okay. Make an investigation check for me.
Oh boy, this isn't negative anymore.
Watch out now.
7.
You cannot find clothes, unfortunately, and it takes you probably, and it makes sense as you're sort of walking along. Everybody sort of, you see Milo like messing with some goggles and sort of brings out some magic, looking at them, and you see Gorham over there wrestling some armor off of this thing, but you're just looking at all of the gold on the ground. And you can't imagine why they're going for anything else at the moment. As you're sort of looking at this gold and you pick up a platinum piece off the ground and just sort of like thumbing it. Might be the first time. All right, write a platinum in your inventory. Maybe the first time Ganwin has ever held a platinum. As you do, you come across another statue wearing sort of in a martial arts pose. It's what catches your eye about it, sort of holding his hands out like this, just sort of frozen in time, and you're just sort of looking at it probably for 30 minutes, just sort of drooling, with a 7. And then you notice that the bronze and copper on its wrists are not part of the statue itself.
I will attempt to remove them if they seem removable.
How are you going to try to remove them?
You said that there's bronze and copper. Like when I'm looking at them, are they like bands or what? What is it? You just said bronze and copper.
Yeah, like bronze and copper bracers.
Oh, like bracers?
Yeah.
Usually bracers fasten somewhere. Looking for fastenings on them.
I don't know, man. You rolled a 7. I figure you might try to break them off at the elbows.
I mean, I'm not super observant, but I know how armor works.
You go up. They do in fact fashion. It takes you a moment as they've sort of locked up over time. But after a moment, just sort of like dusting this stuff away, you remove them without issue.
Sweet. I just look at them. I have no idea how to tell if these can do anything, so I'm gonna ask somebody who can. Start wandering off to Milo, just kind of like pocketing like a little bit of gold and platinum on my way over.
How much gold and platinum do you pocket?
I'll probably actually. You said there's a good chunk of platinum. You said, right?
Yeah.
Try to pocket probably about 100 platinum total.
Okay.
Just imagine Gandalf just taking his cloak and dragging it across the ground, trying to just.
Well, she did say not to take too much, right? Like
I was envisioning like him doing lunges as he walks over to me, and every time he goes down into the lunge, he like grabs another handful of gold.
It's kind of like that, just kind of like lean, scoop, pocket. She said not to take too much, and like she did kill apparently a bunch of other dragons and stuff, so.
And
not a complete idiot.
I don't know if these statues are statues, my guy.
I thought of that, and I was like, Gandalf probably wouldn't think about that, so we're just gonna pretend that it's not a thing. Yeah, I'm just gonna bring over to Milo and be like, hey, you can tell if these are magic, or do they just look cool?
Milo, you're probably in the ending your identify spell on the goggles that you have. You're wrapping it up rather. You have a couple of more minutes, and Ganowin comes up asking you this question.
1 minute.
Okay. Just kind of hold on to him and stay in his general vicinity while I continue getting my 100 platinum pieces.
Okay. And you're just sort of pocketing all this gold. All right, Melgrim.
Yep.
What was your investigation check?
Well, that depends. I am still rolling at disadvantage, I assume.
With a long rest, yes, you would be, because you're now at.
Oh, it's just 3?
Yeah, you're at 3 now versus 4.
Well, damn. Bye-bye, natural 20. 17.
17 investigation check?
Yes.
Nice.
I rolled a 20 and a 17.
Okay. Looking for something that specific and throwing me all off. Thank you. Well,
You're welcome.
Dude, you were about to get such a badass axe, and look where you are now.
Things happen.
Just give him a sun sword. It'll be fine. That's versatile. It's just a handle.
With a 17, you don't find a versatile weapon. You don't find a shield. What you do find is a large statue of, looks to be sort of a fighter resting up against a hammer currently, like this right here, sort of just propped up against it. The hammer itself looks dark in color, and the head of it is emblazoned with a sun.
Ooh. All right. Gonna go up to it and try to pick that bitch up.
Okay. He is rested on it and holding it like this in one hand. Make a strength check for me.
Break his hand off. Crunch.
That is a 20.
Okay. You do indeed break his bottom hand off as you sort of break out this hammer from the bottom of it. Attached to the handle itself, you see just the hand gripping the handle of the hammer.
All right. I picked the hammer up. Go away, hand. And give it a just, I don't know, swing it around the air a little bit.
Okay. You just start swinging it around. You guys see Melgrim just sort of pick up this hammer. Gorham, I'd say you're probably done wrestling the armor off of this statue by now. Or you just see Melgrim sort of baseball stat swinging this hammer in the corner. Gandalf, you guys sort of wrap up everything you're sort of looking for here. Is there anything else you'd like to do other than Milo's sort of identify spell?
Me specifically?
Yeah. Anybody.
I spent a dick ton of time just apparently staring at a statue, so I don't think I have much.
I'll be picking up a few platinum and gold.
Can I look around a little bit more, see if I can find breastplate? Armor.
A breastplate?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
I'm tired of disadvantage on my stealth checks. It's a 10.
A 10? All right. You sort of looking through the same thing, and you see you're Kaushik, I mean, you're starting to see these guys rip things off of statues at this point. It's very clear that there's at least these statues are adorning powerful items. So you start to look around and you find what looks to be a paladin. It almost looks like, as with a sword and a holy symbol. It looks like a concrete sword as she holds it up. You can get to looking at her armor. Her armor's got this like dull green tint to it.
It's got what?
A dull green tint to it, sticking out from the rest of the gray statue.
Oh. Can I wiggle it? See if it's attached.
Go up, move it
Give it
around
a
a
little
little bit.
jiggle.
Yeah, you hear metal scraping up against stone.
Can I try to take it off without damaging the statue? If I'm going to damage the statue, I don't want to take it off. But if I can take it off without damaging the statue, I'll take it off.
Okay, I mean,
I'm trying to be as courteous as possible to our host here.
okay.
We saved her life.
In that case, make a dex check.
$17.
17. Very nice. As you sort of unclasp these things and bring it around, it's still kind of heavy as you're messing with it, but you get it off without breaking the statue.
Nice.
Okay.
Neato.
Crowley's just sort of hovering there in the air. Is everybody
Yeah,
around
I just
here?
kind of like, huh. I guess we've seen the lots of weird things.
This is. He's just standing at the front of it like that.
Flying boat.
Yeah. Toss rope over, go down, and
Don't
go
see
look at some
those every
gold.
day. Quick question on the gold front. Like when you said there's a lot of gold here, are we talking in like the thousands and thousands of gold, like piles of pieces where like a few hundred wouldn't be amiss, or like a few thousand wouldn't really like put it in it?
When you say wouldn't be missed, if you think
I mean like if you took a few thousand from it, would it leave a noticeable dent in the board?
It depends on who's trying to notice it.
I guess that's fair. She did say we could take some. So I was just curious because I didn't know like if like did 100 platinum, as far as I'm aware, put a big dent in what was present, or did it seem like couldn't really tell the difference visually?
Is this dragon a millionaire or is this dragon Jeff Bezos?
Yeah, exactly.
You really don't have a frame of reference as far.
I know.
as
I'm saying for myself, could I tell the difference? Like, could Gandalf tell the difference? It's like, it looks about the same.
Gandalf probably thinks it looks about the same. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah,
that's all I care about.
It doesn't seem like you've put a large dent into this.
Wonderful. That's all I wanted. I just I was gonna alter how much. If I looked at it, it was like, wow, it looks like I took a lot of money. Then I'm like, wait a minute.
No, it doesn't.
I don't want to piss off a dragon. Okay, cool. Wonderful.
Okay. RTM always walks away at the most inopportune times.
He really does.
Is there anything else that you guys would like to look for as RTM and Baraphis land onto the top of the plateau, transforming back into their, or at least Baraphis does, transforms back before walking down the stairs?
Well, just like I said, like Gandalf pocketing maybe 100 platinum and some gold.
How much?
100 platinum and 100 gold. Okay.
Okay.
Very different sums of money.
What did the goggles turn out to be?
I will send you them.
Sweet.
Rather than announcing them.
Cool.
Yeah. You will have to attune to them, but we can get to that. But I'll send them to you maybe over the break.
Sounds good.
Definitely after the session, maybe over the break. But Artyom, Baraphis sort of lands back and transforms back to herself, heading back just directly back to her thing. You feel this thing moving around in your bag, by the way. It is not stopped. As soon as you transform and your equipment comes back out of your Quetzalcoatl form, inside of that bag, this thing is going wild at the moment.
All right.
You
Goshik, where are you? Hey, come here. I'm gonna shove that shit in the bag of holding. Get it away from me. Yeah. don't ever try to grab for this thing. Just leave it in there and forget it was ever in there.
Okay.
Is the bag secured in any way? Like, is it like tied off with rope or?
I don't think he secured it in any ways. I think he just double
put it
bagged
in,
it.
Yeah, I put it. Well, I mean, like a pouch. So, like, I latched it and then latched it again, and it got
Okay. All right. Okay.
Layers.
Okay.
Like
All good stuff layers.
It is
Creepy
like
technical things have
like
layers.
it is like Carnati onion, many layers.
Crowley, as you sort of sit here, have this thing floating. You sort of sit here, and it's been a moment since you've had a chance to just have some sweet relief to yourself. So, as you're standing at the wheel, you let out one silent, not noticeable to the rest of the party.
Excellent. Throw the ladder over and jump back down.
Now it's an airship.
Oh,
You make your way back down the ladder as Baraphis is also. I love these rewards as you make your way back down these stairs. Baraphis sort of looking around and she says, "Well, I've seen some of you have." She sort of looks at the airship and. This is a fair reward. You'll probably need all the help you can get.
But of course.
Guys, we're gonna get arrested.
Do you say that in character?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna need a transfer of deed. I'm gonna need a photo ID and.
As you're sort of crawling down from it, she sort of looks up at you and says, "You know what you're doing with that thing?"
It's a very good question. Do you know what you're doing with that thing, Crowley?
Indeed, I do.
I don't
Slides down.
Then you do know you're not supposed to be on it at all, or at least not piloting it.
It is boat, just in the air. What's this difference?
Right. I mean, Crowley and most of you, maybe not Gandalf, anyone, Crowley, Milo, and probably Gorham, maybe Kaushik, anyone with knowledge of the upper houses would know that House Lyrandar has a monopoly on air travel. So, and as this is exactly what she's alluding to. You know why you're not supposed to be on that, right?
I know.
Okay. Far be it from me.
Wait, hold on. Wait, what is wrong with this boat? Crowley.
It's not the question of the boat itself, but the monopoly of one of the greater houses on airships.
The what?
It's laws. It's against the law if you're not.
Why?
That's how the greater houses be.
Yep.
It is illegal.
It's a stupid rule. It's ridiculous.
It's all about power.
It's a law.
I hate
Just
those
a rule.
bunch of dickheads.
So wait, they'll try to. I mean, what are they going to do? Blow whistle at us and say, "Hey, you come down here with that airship. We're going to arrest you."
I'm gonna roll a history check on past dalliances with rule breakers of this law, Jones, if you do not mind.
Say it one more time for me. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna roll history on past rule breakers who have broken this law, which this was a really good roll actually.
Don't we already have to deal with the
21.
21. It sort of depends on the sort of circumstances. If someone who's just straight up stolen a ship, those people were probably tried very unfairly and either put in jail. Most of them put in jail for long amounts of time, depending on where it was and how much House Lyrandar had influenced there whenever they were caught, and obviously try to extradite them to a town or city where they had more power. As far as other like companies or houses or anything doing airships, you said you rolled a 21.
Yes, sir.
You've probably heard rumors, something like you couldn't confirm, of like companies trying to make make airships and get in on air travel, and then something just kind of goes wrong with it, or just sort of flitters out of existence. You never hear about it again. So,
Jesus.
What are the Eberron laws on squatters' rights? I mean, you can live on an airship, right?
Yeah.
If it's been in here so long, you know, like, hey, it's ours.
Been in
we
here for
found
like
it.
400 years, right? Like,
Do you want me to roll that? We can roll it.
is the boat even on the record anymore? Like, found it.
right.
I mean, I feel like if it's here, somebody had to make it, so it's missing technically, right?
Right. Gainwin, do you say this boat's been here in here for 400 years?
Sure.
I'm trying to
I
see
mean,
what-
this boat has been here for like 400 years, right? Like,
correction. While
Oh.
I've been living here for 400 years, I
oh shit.
do sometimes take a walk.
How long has this boat been here?
Couple of years now. This was
God
actually one of
damn
my
it.
most recent acquirements. Look at it.
It
Seems
is very
incredible
nice,
what you-
yes. But I don't look over at Crowley. It is a very nice boat. But we already pissed off the train people, or I'm sorry, the lightning rail people. Do we really want to piss off more powerful people? Like, I think they're all a bunch of dickheads. But I mean, it sounds like it could be a bit of a problem.
I could speak to some legal-ended matters in Sharn if we're still going there. Get some work done.
It's this flying boat.
At the end of the day, I mean, we could always be like, oh no, what are you talking about? We found the boat. We are returning it to the resort, please.
On today's episode of How Many Noble Houses?
This sounds like
Yeah.
a horrible
If we do
idea.
not keep it, it can be returned as a reward either way.
Unless they kill us first.
Well,
I can offer you a substitute, another offer, if this is too much of a burden. Again, you've saved my life, so I do owe you quite the favor. However, if you're not willing to take on this risk, then I could simply teleport you to, you said Sharn.
Yes. Poof, we are in Sharn. Wait, we can't leave little girl.
yes,
She's
we have a
back.
little girl we must collect as well.
We have to go
That
collect
was-
Lydia.
Yes, she suffered from the effects of the noxious gases, and her family that died. So
Yes,
I must return and collect her.
Shit.
I mean,
don't
I
know.
have to be on the material plane to teleport you regardless. So
Oh. So we could like go collect little girl, and then you send us to Sharn
if this is what you are looking to
or
do.
somewhere.
I don't know. I like this airship.
I like being alive.
You
Yeah,
see her
look-
look at it, just sort of still hovering there. She goes, I do too. But it is up to you nonetheless.
Crowley, you should take it. They'll never be able to rip it out of our hands.
Looks over.
Aw.
How many airships are currently known to be like in common circulation in Eberron at the moment?
Oh, you have no idea.
Would anybody have any idea in our group?
Not really.
Like vague idea. Like, is it like you only see like one or two named ships ever, or is it like
Yeah, what is the
No,
name of this ship? There's
Milo-
got to be a name on the side.
Milo is from Sharn, probably the most sees the most traffic. Milo, you would see maybe in a month period, 100 different ships in your time living there.
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, I thought that there were like 25 total.
this
Yeah.
is way better?
It's been around for 10 years, and House Lyrindar has been on it. So while it wouldn't be like, you're one of the only ones in the sky, it's not. Yeah, we'll just go with that.
We would be one of the only privateers, is what you're saying.
Oh my
Yes.
god, we're gonna die. It's not even gonna be the BBEG that kills us. We're gonna die to the fucking police. Get killed by the cops.
They want to make an offer. Anytime.
They want to attack the ship, then we will defend ourselves and have two airships. They're just sailors, they're not warriors.
I mean, I don't know. Whatever. I will.
Me
I
and
will.
Milo, we can just
Gandalf.
fly right over there.
I
It's
will go
okay.
with this decision.
I am certain enough for the both of us.
Okay. Whatever. Fantastic. Okay. Yes. Just sitting here holding my two like bracers, like okay. I guess this is that's how that will go down. So is that it? I guess we can just fly out then.
It was a task to get it in here, so be
Okay.
careful. I would hate for your journey to be this short-lived, but if in case you do fail, I can always teleport you out again. But
That's
please don't just break my ship and then ask me to teleport you.
I do have, before we go, I just have a couple of questions that I would like to ask you that are on a more personal matter. Do you have any particular knowledge of curses?
I mean,
of the variety that would interfere with resurrection magic?
there are tons of dark magics in this world, all of them. Some of them I possess. What are you looking at specifically? I mean, other than giving you that, yes, they exist, and it would take someone in order to interfere with resurrection magic. It either means that there's a couple of different things. The curse itself that is preventing a resurrection, or the curse has locked a soul somewhere away. There's a few
something to
ways.
The effect of they may return to life shortly after to die again. And by shortly, I mean the span of less than a minute.
In order for them to curse a being and for that curse to stick after death, to persist through death, that would have to be incredibly strong magic. That wouldn't be any run-of-the-mill. Any run-of-the-mill arcane. This isn't someone who dabbles. This would be someone or something that they're well aware of. There are creatures throughout the cosmos that do these things. But that sounds, if it's not trapping the soul itself, just the inability to resurrect them and keeping the soul out of the body, that means the curse stays on the body throughout death. And I've never heard of something like that before. The only thing I could tell you is they possess powers beyond from what I've heard.
There's no beings or groups that might have some way to do something similar, if not exactly the same. Like you said, that you said you knew some beings that might.
I'm sure there are plenty.
Could you give me some examples, like some names, perhaps?
No, I don't believe I have names for you. I have groups of people. You have fiends that might be capable of such magic, demon or devil. Certain high aberrations could be able to do so. Hags could do so if they were powerful enough. I have.
Okay. One last question. Does fucking damn it, camera. Does the phrase Gruse von den Taschtern mean anything to you, or could you translate?
Her eyes for a second, as she blinks as you say this, sort of turn When she blinks, you see her eyes turn yellow with slits down the middle of them looking at you, and she gets suddenly angry at you.
Just one hand immediately down, kind of gripping the hilt of my dragon conveniently labeled sword.
She and all 5'2" of her walk up to you and say, "Pull it." Where'd you learn this phrase? Where'd you learn this language?
I do not know what it means. That's why I was asking.
Where did you learn the language? What
I
you just
didn't
uttered
learn it.
is nonsense, but what you're speaking is the tongue of the Dalkir.
Huh.
What?
I saw it in a memory, I guess.
Well, you're
Could
speaking
say.
gibberish, and you should probably watch your tongue.
Shrug. Like, if I did not say it correctly, there was something said. Some being that participated in the slaughter of my caravan a very long time ago.
She sort of softens a little bit. So you don't know this language, you just know the phrase.
That is what they literally just said. I have no idea what it means or any other bit aside from what I just said to you.
Right. Sorry if I'm not listening. Miles is throwing a hissy
You're
fit
good.
beside me. Well, it's next to gibberish. However, what I can tell you is the language. It's Dalkir. It's the language of Avash in the plain of Zoriad.
I see.
More cautious of you now. You seeming to know this language has sort of unnerved her. She looks at the rest of you and says, "Well, it looks like you've gathered some things. I'm not going to lie, my experience with humans and dwarves and the like and everyone else is that they are a bit more greedy than this."
Yeah, people are kind of terrible.
People are terrible, but so are my kind, so.
Am I able to get something, or am I just got the tentacle and that's it?
I'm sure it's a very nice tentacle.
It's pretty good.
Huh?
She sort of looks you over. I've taught some of your type some magics and whatnot throughout my life. Sort of walks over to this one statue, sort of in the middle of casting what looks like some sort of spell, a staff held high, dark armors all across it. She sort of goes over there, to just sort of hops up onto the base of the statue, reaches up and delicately plucks it from her, sort of hands you this very dusty but wooden staff that sort of knots up at the top, and has some sort of like jewel at the top of it.
Ah, a wizard staff is very magical. Okay, thank you.
Take some time with it.
I will. Thank you.
The airship then?
Maybe
Or am I
you
teleporting
could
out of here?
maybe you could help give a little bit of direction. I mean, how did you even get it in here? Right? Did you have to go like nose up?
Oh God.
She gives a slight smile and says, "It was fun," is what it was. It'll take some doing to get out of here. But straight up through the sinkhole.
Oh boy.
Yeah, see, straight up to this. Crowley pointed straight up.
You've got it hovering. I have faith that you can get it out of here. That is
No
the
need-
manner you're all going. I wish you luck.
Well, we thank you for these treasures.
Indeed.
Did Norgog grab anything?
Norgog,
Good question.
sort of goes over there. He didn't take much, but he did take something. You see him take make a perception check for Gorham real quick. Just roll a d20.
It has like a -12.
17.
17. That's the number on the dice.
Yes.
Okay, Gorham, you see Norgog sort of pluck not off of a statue, but off of just this various like tree where gems and necklaces and stuff are hanging off. He sort of brings this jewelry off, and it's sort of like black jeweled, and it looks like an animal of some sort. He just sort of looks at it for a second, strings it across his neck, just sort of shakes his head and says, I don't need much. This is a nice token.
So
she'll respond and says, well, sometimes things are more than they meet the eye, as she sort of watches them put this on. However, y'all had quite the slobber knocker in there, and I know that y'all are probably not wanting to be on this plane any more than you need to be, and I need to prepare for what comes.
indeed.
Tico, where do they put him? He is in a cavern not far. I can walk you there. Very well. If you're leaving from here, I need to mourn for a while.
Good luck. Fight well. Kind of nod at her and start moving to get up into the ship.
Aye.
One more question. I know we rescued you and we've been aptly rewarded for that, but what are the other people of Corvair who have met a untimely end due to these incident?
What are you asking? As I can't do much for them.
Like, would I be allowed to gather some funds for them? You haven't had my word that it would be for these people, to for the survivors, to help right their lives.
She sort of looks off into space away from your eyes for a moment, Artyom, and just as if she says, would that make it better? Does that help soothe the soul? I have infinite treasures around me, and I tell you as someone who just lost a son, that all of this treasure makes none of it better.
Well, not dying in the street or in the wilderness because their livelihoods were all destroyed. Yeah, money can help.
Very well then. How much is enough?
100 platinum to give to the people who we find along the way who suffered from this.
You see her reach out her hands, bring a chest from a corner, and start scraping gold and platinum along the ground into this chest, and it just sort of like scrapes it up into this big long pile. She shuts the top of it and sort of hovers it over up onto the ship.
I appreciate it.
100 platinum plus some, again, for your favors. You do what you will with that money.
All right. Well, it was not fun. I legitimately hope to never see you again. I hope you figure a way out of this mess.
Yeah. Hope you figure a way out of this mess, and I hope I
And
never
I-
have this. See this place again. Fucking dying.
And I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. Tico sort of skitters up to her, and she's like cradles him as he skitters up her side. Very well. I hope that I am successful and you never have to come back here again. It may be wise to at least check in when the time comes.
And we'll see you in about a year, I guess.
Yeah.
Aye, best of luck in battle.
Hopefully when you come back, it's a little bit more welcoming. We shall see. But if there's nothing else, good luck. Fly safe. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Fair journey. And Crowley's going to make his way up the ladder.
Okay. She turns around and walks out into the cage chamber when Tico just sort of right there in her arms. She's like baby carrying him along, making her way through this branch door. As you guys climb onto this airship, ready to make the next leg of your journey, that is where we're going to take our break.
Woo!
So thank you everybody for tuning in. We really appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break, going to get some drinks and some potty breaks in and stuff like that. Don't go anywhere though. We'll be back. Much love.
Ooh.
Potty break.
Hello everybody. I forgot one.
That was a silent countdown like they do in the actual.
Yeah.
Right, but I didn't even give you the silent one because I did 3, 2.
Oh, I was doing it, so you're good. Just go rewatch the footage.
I watch for the flames to go across your face. That's my key.
Oh, gotcha. Awesome.
This is the easy way.
This is me teleporting into the DM role. Hello everybody, and welcome back. We are Hard Knock Dice. In case you didn't know, that logo right above me should tell you. We're going to continue on with this Eberron campaign where these guys just got a lot of sick loot and a lot of awful information as they found out that the plane of Zoriat was falling into this demi-plane that is connected at least some parts of the year to the material plane. They also met a tentative ally, or at least someone who was grateful for saving their life, named Baraphis, who is an ancient green dragon. Thankful for this, they gave the party free reign to some loot, to which they had all for the most part, the statues are still good to go, but you know, ancient dragon confirmed. Yeah, I said she was ancient. However, you guys were loading up onto your newly found airship, maybe some of the greatest of your booty, and you're about to attempt to fly out of here. Milo, as you finish your identify spell, as your party sort of starts crawling on top of the airship, you find that these are goggles of object reading, and you can look up what those do on D&D Beyond and add them to your inventory. However,
Adding them now.
the rest of you sort of climbing on top with your goods, Crowley going to the helm of this ship. You're just sort of hovering here in this open cavern. The sinkhole above you could probably fit this airship at an angle, but it is going to take some doing.
All right.
We're going to require some checks here. Is anybody going to be assisting Crowley in any sort of manner?
I will be holding things on the ship from sliding nimbly about.
The first thing that you see that's going to be sliding nimbly about is the gigantic crate of gold and platinum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything on this ship that seems to function like a normal ship?
Not a whole lot. As you're looking around, it's odd. I mean, there's no sort of places that you can really man, it looks like, and assist in that manner.
Just get on the sides and tell me how close I get. Don't worry.
Sure, I'll go hold on the rail.
Yeah, just hold on the
rail. On the side.
I bash that side into the wall.
I'm gonna cast dancing lights and then use the orbs as like guides for him to fly through to get out.
Okay, I like it.
I straighten my rear view mirror for a +2 bonus to piloting. Thank you.
Okay.
Make sure rules of the road are obeyed.
So we have Gandalin on one side. We have Artyom holding down the some of the loot, to make sure it doesn't go sliding anywhere. Milo is making a runway of sorts up to the top of this, sort of making sure they're along the walls. So if Crowley, if they disappear out of view, you know you might be getting too close. Would anybody like to do anything else?
Holding on for dear life.
Okay.
Same.
The dwarves anchor down. Kaushik, what would you like to do?
Just nods. Yes, anchor down.
Yeah, same. I'm gonna hold on to whatever I can find to hold on to.
Okay.
If you are unsure of your footing, I would suggest you get below deck.
Fucking like I'm a rocket down there.
I'll also like fly off of the ship so that I can like kind of see how close the wall is, and I'll have my one of my pets next to Crowley, being like, "Ooh, get a little close."
Okay. All right. Crowley, in that case, I would like you to make a charisma check for me with advantage with all of this help that you're getting.
Well, let's see if it's a nat 20. 19 plus, I don't know, it's just roll a 19 plus charisma 5, so
It's 24.
Yep.
As you're sitting here coaxing this vessel out of here, somewhat precarious, because there's not a lot of room to maneuver this massive ship in here. As you sort of take the back end and you start angling it up to make sure everybody sort of holds on as the ship itself starts to pick up speed, and Milo's sort of flying off to one side. Crowley, you swing one side closer to the left where it tells Crowley that he's getting too close, quickly correcting it so you don't get too close, lifting your way out at about a 30-degree angle outside of this thing, and as if some, I don't know, Free Willy sort of montage of someone were watching off from the side, you just see this airship like crest out with the sun behind it without an issue.
All right, everyone make acrobatics checks. We're doing a barrel roll.
What acrobatics checks?
I would like, the rest of you are just anchoring down your own weight. RTM, I would like you to make a strength check for me.
Sure.
Let's make it a strength saving throw if you're proficient.
I am not proficient in a strength saving throw.
Then it's just a straight strength check.
So that is a total of 15.
15. Okay, not bad. It does get precarious at moments as you feel the chest, like just the weight of it and sort of the force of Crowley having to swing around the back end of this thing to make sure he goes up and out. You feel the chest start to slip out of your arms, and you're sort of looking at the back of the boat and or at the back of the airship, and where this gold would just go right back into the cavern. But you maintain your grip onto it as you guys crest out of here. As you sort of hover here for a moment, waiting for Milo to get back onto the deck, and for your various drones or familiars to get back that were helping. You guys see, well, RTM, where you had just come from, the horror waterfall of roots and tentacles behind you that are just anchoring themselves to this plane. And then back where you came from, through the Ashenwood and Black Marsh.
Now it's a crazy thought that the marsh actually is the better of the two directions to go.
I do not. That seems pretty logical at this juncture. We should go the other way.
Yeah, we need to get out of here as soon as possible. Yeah. I would suggest to not even like look back in that direction.
Well, yeah.
How are we gonna get our horses on this boat?
We can land again. It is not a problem.
We get, yes, but we get on, but it's still tall.
They have little port sides. We can just lift a little bridge down. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Hard
Okay.
support.
This is very concerning.
I will wrap them up in big snake and.
You were very quiet for me, RTM. I don't know if it's for everybody, but it's definitely for me.
Yeah, he's super quiet for me too.
Is this any better?
Little bit.
I do not know what's going on.
You're audible right there, at least.
Yes, Audible.
Audible, not sponsored.
That'd be sick.
If only.
You gotta work on those reading voices.
You know what we gotta do? We just gotta read some books, and they'll sponsor us.
I do read books.
Out
You
loud.
guys crest outside of here. Crowley, you are obviously captaining at least this portion of the journey back towards the material plane, having a general idea, but as I've said before, this plane itself is odd. Directions are messed up by just going off of the sun and what have you. You have a general direction in the sense that you can see the light smoke that is still happening from the other side of this, which you assume to be is the Ashenwood. So it is not going to require a check to get there to the beginning of the Ashenwood, but past that point, it will start requiring some checks to keep oriented and making it back to the Eldritch Groves.
So piloting or just perception?
Well, that's what I'm gonna ask here. Is there anything anybody would like to contribute via survival or navigator's tools or anything that anybody has that would assist Crowley in this journey? As Crowley, most of your attention is just, granted, it is coming fairly natural to you with these 2 checks that you've made. It is still very, very new.
Also, proficiency with land and air vehicles, by the way.
Right. Still probably the first time you've helmed an airship.
No, I understand.
So a lot of your attention is going to be dealing with some of these strong winds that are coming in from the Ashlands or the Ashenwood, and keeping your way along. So, what were you saying, Gandalf?
I was saying Gandalf, it to whatever extent he can, is going to assist by just kind of looking around over the side and looking for what he maybe considered landmarks to be like, okay, that I recognize that. Keep going that way.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
All right.
Yeah, I'll use my Outlander thingamajigger.
Which is?
I'm trying to find it on D&D Beyond.
If anyone knows how to use navigator's tools, I can make some.
I have navigator tools, but I do not know how to use them.
What?
And you have an excellent memory for maps and geography, and you can always recall the general layout, terrain, settlements, and other features around you. In addition, you can find food and fresh water for yourself and up to 5 other people each day, provided that the land offers berries, small game, water, and so forth.
Okay. In that case, as you guys sail for a while through the air towards the Ashenwood, I would like either Ganowin and Artyom roll perception checks for me, or one with advantage.
Want me to roll
Artyom with advantage. Artyom with advantage.
All right.
That's a 19 plus 8.
As
27.
Flying through here, Artyom, fairly sure that the treasure is at least safe from flying off right now. You guys are going through here, and you notice that for as fast as you're going, and everybody sort of notices this, as fast as you're going and as high up as you are right now, there's not a lot of wind. You see it sort of after a while, and for anybody that's noticing, I would say Artyom and Ganowin, since you guys are looking over the edge specifically, you notice sort of a barrier that is sort of being activated around the outside of this ship that is sort of preventing these winds from coming over deck. It seems like there's some sort of warding to assist with just that problem.
Yeah, it's very handy. This is very cool.
However, you're sailing through. Gandalf and Artyom, as you're sort of going through the Ashenwood, the compound of the Herald of Slaughter comes into view. As you see a familiar place where you lost Melgrim. Milo, this place looks familiar to you as Artyom and Gandalf are sort of going through as well. This is where you saw Gorham dragging his brother's dead body, and though you weren't there, you've seen it. So
Milo will shudder.
You continue on through for a couple of hours through this through the Ashwood. The smoke sort of dissipating as it hits this barrier around your ship. Luckily, there's no breathing smoke for the next few hours, as this wind warding seems to be helping you guys out. You make your way through, and you eventually make to the break into the Black Marshes. And I would like one more check from you guys.
Funnily enough, that is the exact same thing. At 11 and 19 again.
Nice.
Could I have asked Milo to identify my bracers since we were traveling for several hours?
If Artyom's doing this with advantage, that means you're helping him.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, handed them off to him. Like, hey, could you take a look at these for me while we are traveling?
I'll
I just
identify.
handed them off to him and then gone and done my thing.
Yeah, I'll identify everyone's stuff at 10 minutes apart.
Okay. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Hell yeah.
So everybody just sort of hands their stuff off to Milo for identification.
See.
Okay.
Sweet.
And Milo let you know what you got in a minute. And you said that was another 20 something.
27.
Ridiculous. 27.
Yeah.
Not as nearly as difficult in the Black Marshes, as you don't have this sort of overhang of smoke. But as you crest over, you see familiar landscapes, sort of the rut in the path that you guys were following through this marsh, and then you see a familiar large tree which you camped under, and then you go another hour or so, and then you see just a large wooden shack, it looks like, with just logs pressed up against each other. Remembering it's where you fought the trolls, and you know you're not far from the boundary right now.
Okay.
After sailing through for a while, the marsh breaks, and you come to what looks like normal forest. After maybe about 30 more minutes of sailing, Artyom and Ganwin, you're sort of peering over the edge. You see it. The village where you left
Just
Lydia.
Yell back at Crowley like, "Hey, get us over here! Stop in that general direction." This area.
Oh, are we finally back?
You said this thing can go down easily without like falling. Crowley like.
I let it dip a little bit.
Okay.
It does not answer my question.
Milo, by the time this is done, but while Crowley is trying to find a place to land this, and Ganwin and Artyom are seeing them, Goran, which I've told you, you've got Silver Dragon Scale Mail. Milo, I've told you, you've got the Goggles of Object Reading. Gandalwin, they are indeed Bracers of Defense, +2. Kaushik, you have an Adamantine Breastplate.
Oh, hell yeah.
Artyom, you have a Staff of the Woodlands.
Nice.
I'm sorry. And Melgrim, you have a I think this is what I was talking about, having to walk up. You do here. I'll walk it back right now because I don't care. No one can stop me. I'm God. You did not find a hammer. Instead, you found a longsword, and you found a flame tongue longsword.
Nice.
Not to be left out, DM, but what did I get?
You got an airship, and you didn't look for anything else, man.
I know, I didn't want to look for anything else.
I'm trying to pull up the map because we may need it in a moment. Depending. But I'm in Karnath for some reason.
Oh.
Sorry. But yeah, that's what you can explain each of that to each of them, but that is what you got. Does anybody take the time to count the gold and or platinum? Or are you just kind of leaving it there at the moment?
Once we were safe, I was just going to probably chunk it somewhere downstairs so where it doesn't slide around on the deck.
Okay.
Take care of it later. Probably going to attune to the staff with some of the time once we get into an area to where it might be a little bit easier for Crowley to obviously know where he's going.
Right. And well, once you guys sort of break the Eldritch Groves, you only have about 30 minutes. Other than that, you guys have sort of actively been looking out for landmarks so you don't lose your way. But you hit the Eldritch Groves. Crowley, you're sort of hovering above this village right now. What would you like to do?
Did we spot a nice clearing to put down at
I
all?
mean, the
Or...
biggest clearing is right in the middle of the village.
All right. Well, we're gonna gently touch down.
Gently make a charisma check for me.
Do I get proficiency at all with this?
You said you got proficiency in land and air vehicles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Make your charisma plus that proficiency.
Nice.
19.
19. Very nice. You get it down probably about 5 feet or so from the ground. You're hovering there at the moment. But typically there's like docks and stuff. You can leave it hovering here. And you get it with you said a 19. I'll say you get it about 3 feet above the ground, but there's no like touchdown for this. You leave it hovering and on.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Leave it in your guys' hands. What are you doing?
Once we're hovering over, I will assume I'll require like God my bracelet. I'll just once he's told me what they're, I'll just strap them on and leave them, even if I'm not attuned to them quite yet. I'm just gonna jump off the side of the boat.
Okay.
And if it would require me to take fall damage, I'll use my reaction to reduce that by 40.
Easily. You're about 25 feet in the air, but with ease you just down onto the ground without issue. Looking up at your party,
I just imagine Gandalf just belly flopping into the dirt, just getting up and going, monk.
Belly flop with poise.
More dignified landing from everyone else, I guess. Maybe.
I just jumped. Yeah.
I'm just jealous you can jump. You're a monk. It's okay.
Just jumped and light-footed as ever. No belly flop.
Not belly flopping. Thanks, Jesus.
No, a dive straight into the ground with no fall damage is hilarious to me.
Just like, oh god! And you just pop back up like, what's up?
I'm okay.
All right.
Yeah. I want to unfurl that ladder and just slide on down. Because now I've got acrobatics.
Yeah. I'm just making a beeline as soon as I jump down towards the gnome's house.
Okay.
Yeah, I can fly, so I'm just gonna fly down.
Just fly off the edge.
Yeah,
All right.
once the ladder is unfurled, I will go after Crowley.
Okay.
I'll also take the ladder.
All right. You guys take the ladder. Once you all kind of get down there, Gorham and Crowley, all of you probably see passing on your way down the ladder. You see sort of like a perforation in the hole to your right, which looks like it may be some sort of lean down door of some sort.
Ooh, excellent. Actually, gentlemen, I'm going to check this real quick. I'll be right back. Clip, 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 clip.
All right, making your way back up the ladder. You make your way below deck. The first sort of deck that is brought to you looks to be like a living quarters, sectioned off in several different ways. This looks like it may have been, in fact, like you joked earlier, some sort of cruise liner, but it looks like it was meant to house a couple of people. You peek in and you see fairly nice beds in each of them, with like their own little living quarters, and you see like a washing basin in there, not full of water or anything, long dried, but just sort of sitting in there. You make your way down to where you saw the other deck, or where you saw the door below the deck. You see a large storage area, and as well as what looks like just a locked door on this side that seems to fold down with chains on either side. It seems to fold down from here.
Open?
Well,
oh, no.
Yeah, no. They're actually latched. They're not automatic doors. It's not a Lambo. They're not just gonna like pop up and they just pop open for you.
So they're a little like crank, or what are we talking here?
Yeah.
Or...
So you see two latches. You unlatch them from either side to unlock the door, and you sort of push the door forward. And as you do, the two pulleys on either side just sort of slowly ratchet it down to the ground.
Much more convenient.
Indeed. It sort of gently touches down onto the ground. It's pretty good for your first landing because this is barely touching the ground. So
get a ruler out. I need to work on that.
All right. You guys sort of make your way. You're sort of beelining to the house. You said Gandalf with.
Yeah, just walk over the door. Boom, boom, boom. As soon as I get over to it.
You see a familiar sight. eyes peeking from under the curtain. Eyes go wide when he sees you.
Give him the bro nod, like, yeah, what's up?
And he sort of says, "Go around again, you know it." And he sort of
open the door. We got rid of the disease. You weirdo.
Yes, the eloquent Gandalin.
You're welcome.
You got rid of it.
Yes, it is solved. Promise.
Make
Pinky
a persuasion
promise.
check.
Oh shit.
Ah, shit.
I don't think I have. I don't. Yeah, I just that's raw charisma. 20 total.
No.
Dirty 20. Dirty 20.
You see him look at you and then like hold his head up, like trying to find it in the sky again.
You are very welcome. We are awesome.
He's not there anymore. The curtain drops and you hear little footsteps just through the house to the door, and you hear, "Can you help me?" I guess, but never mind. And you see just all the wax just fall onto the ground and the floor, some of it falling on top of him as he makes his way outside, just looking into the sky. Still covered in all of these like rags and stuff around his face, bandanas and goggles and whatnot, just wrapped from head to toe.
I mean, as soon as the door's open, I'm gonna ignore him and step inside and find Lydia.
You see Lydia sort of tracing her hand along a shelf, making her way close to the door.
Just Lydia. How? Just kind of approach her without running into her. How are you doing? Are you okay? And just kind of examine her real quick, make sure that she's in the same shape we left her, make sure she's been eating.
Sure,
doesn't look gaunt or anything.
Make a perception check.
Fuck. 8.
10 base plus your things.
15.
Okay, much better. So mark your 10 off. As you divine inspiration comes over you from Milo. You look her over for a moment. She looks like she's eaten some. She doesn't look like she's in any worse shape. She is still in the same clothes that you guys left her, and she's not sort of changed out of this nightgown thing that she's had. But she looks about as good as a girl can do that has lost her immediate family and has been living in a house with a strange gnome for a couple of days.
Gotcha.
She doesn't have any obvious signs of like someone hitting or
neglect or
anything like that.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Quick point of question with that line of wording. Has it only been a couple of days here?
That's a good question. I need someone to roll a d20 for me.
I got you. That's a 9.
God damn it. It's been 3 months.
Can I do it instead?
Sorry, RTM jumped on that one, so it is a 9.
I rolled out of curiosity and mine was an 8.
Well, to be fair, it would have been the same thing.
I rolled out of curiosity and I got a nat 20.
Yeah, well, fuck you, Cody. You didn't get to roll, so shut up.
That would have been a situation. She looks her hair is sort of down, and you can't remember if it was up or not when you first rescued her, but it looks a little like longer a little bit, but
Concerning. As I was like, he treat you okay?
Yes, he treated me fine.
Okay.
Yes.
That is good. So I know you have to. I just kind of. Come with me. We promised to take you to your people. Yes.
You sort of touch her shoulder. She sort of. I would.
Okay.
Is
sorry. I'm just like.
Is Kaushik of Cyphus with you?
Yeah. Who? Kaushik and who?
Kaushik's with you?
Yes. Yeah. I can take you to her. Yes. I believe she's actually headed this way now. I look out. Did Kaushik get off the boat?
I'm headed that way now.
Okay, I'll say yes. She is headed this way right now.
Okay. You haven't had much
Keep
interaction with
Cyphus in mind.
Okay. You haven't had much interaction with her. She seems to
Yeah,
have
fair.
more trust in other party members.
That's
But as you sort of walk out, her hearing you leave, she sort of follows along the side of it and follows the door.
Yeah, I'll make sure. I'm not just gonna walk. I'll make sure she gets out towards the door. And
Well, as you
leave
as
a
you
little
sort of,
blind girl.
like hover hand her, and she doesn't really
Yeah,
want you
kinda-
touching her. You sort of hover
Yeah,
hand her.
no.
She seems to have found her way around this this house pretty well by now. She seems to know where things are by touch and how many steps to go. So she makes her way out, touches the door, traces the door, and walks outside. Her feet hitting the grass, sort of shivering because it is still chilly here. It's not snowing. But she sort of steps outside and just sort of waits there at the door frame. Kashik, as you're walking up, is there anything you'd like to say?
I'm going to exclaim, Lydia! And then I'm going to go in for a hug, but remembering that she's blind, I'm going to warn her that I'm incoming for a hug, and then
Okay. She
Go in.
sort of holds her hand out when you do. You sort of trace your hand up her arm and bring her in for a hug. She's receptive to a hug. Gives you a hug back. Says, Kashik, where's Caiaphas?
Can I
I'm
get some clarification who that is?
Are you
I'm
just-
looking at Koshik this time, like.
Is he still in the little part of the ship?
At this point, you see, and you see Crowley stepping down this, and then he takes out a ruler towards the ground. The door sort of shakes his head and walks towards you.
Okay, I'm just going to motion over towards him to come. And I'm going to say, I'm ignoring Ganwin completely.
Works. That's good enough for me. Like that seems to answer my question.
I'm going to say, he's right here, Lydia.
Yeah, Crowley will approach and he'll take a knee. Lydia, how are you? Has he treated you well?
He has treated me. He's not well. He's given me food. And I've had a comfortable place to stay. He is not. I'm okay. She seems less shaky from the first time you guys have spoken to her. She seems a little bit more okay of herself now.
Well, you do recall our promise to get you to see your parents, no? We have a way of getting there perhaps very quickly, and if you don't mind coming with us, we can see to it that you get there safely.
Okay. How are we getting there?
He's going to lean in kind of like conspiratory. Have you ever heard of an airship?
I've heard of them. They fly. That's...
Like, little children child glees, like, well, it just so happens I have come into possession of an airship. Would you care to take a ride and make it to your parents?
Before you even finish the sentence, her head is shaking. Yes. She says, yes.
Very good. And this will be a secret between us, okay, Lydia?
This is a highly illegal airship, so don't tell anybody.
What's going to be the secret?
That you got to ride on an airship with just yourself and us. No one else. It is practically ours.
She holds out a pinky to you.
Crowley holds out his pinky and swears. And then, damn, I wish I had enough money to, call a god down, swear on this pinky promise. Enough channel points, as it were.
All right, making this promise. Is there anything anybody else would like to do returning to this little hamlet of homes?
Spill around.
You make a perception check.
17.
You hear, as soon as you start looking around for Bill, especially from where you left the horses and stuff, you don't see Bill, and it's a little bit worrisome at first. Then you hear clang, 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 clang off in one of the homes off to your right. And you see through one of the windows a big green ass just sort of sway in the window, and a tail just sort of knocks some stuff off.
I want to go in there and kind of like get down like a predator and tackle him as best I can. Probably not because he's much larger than me. But I will feign attack him.
Okay. Roll the stealth check for me. And as you sort of sneak up on him or attempt to sneak up on him, you see him with sort of 2 bottles he seems to have found sort of tilted back in his mouth, guzzling down some sort of liquid. And he's going to make his attempt to spot you at disadvantage.
14.
He's over there drinking olive oil.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
He does not seem to notice you at first.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm just going to full on like chest slam into him.
Okay. You trying to take him down to the ground?
Yeah.
Make an athletics check.
That is another 14, but with +7 to that, so 21.
Unless Bill has +9 to his athletics, then you sock Bill and just wrap him up and take him down to the ground. He seems to be off balance currently. So you hit him and he just boom on the wooden floor and lets out just a loud honk.
I'll just be like, "You bastard! You're supposed to share. You're drunk."
Seeing you just sort of like starts to nuzzle you at first, and then he bites the shit out of your neck.
Yeah, probably deserve that.
All right.
Yeah, I'll just hang out with him and get reacquainted with him.
And sits there, stands up after getting knocked on his ass. After a while, he walks out of this house with you sort of squeezing through the door. Looks like he goes through the back, maybe as one of the sort of like wall planks are sort of popped off to the side. Milo, you see sort of just sitting there munching on some dead hay, sort of like halfway falling out of a bag. You just see Lord Declan there chilling out back. Gandalin,
My horse.
You look behind Milo. Your horse is currently like all 4 on the ground, like lugs tucked underneath them, just sort of sitting there at the moment, head moving and looking around.
Oh, fucking hell. I'll come to my fucking horse like, bastard. You're okay, like, tilt him, look at his eyes, like, check for a horse, look at his teeth.
He looks worse for wear. He does not look like he's had a good time, but through some perseverance, he has made it.
Good, strong Carnathy horse. Pat his head.
Yeah, I would imagine he probably has like all kinds of crusty shit down his face on his chest or something like that. Yeah.
He does.
Rub it off of his, like, get that off of you.
It's a very familiar sight as you walk up to him, but you did see this before you left, and so you help him clear it from his eyes or whatever. It takes some doing, but you help him stand up. He seems to be exhausted at the moment, and indeed he does have some points of exhaustion, but alive.
Up that ramp, find him a nice spot to lay down.
Okay. Gorham, Melgrim, is there anything you guys would like to do around here? I just want to make sure I cover everybody.
The only thing I want to do is I want to dispel my boar.
You're going to dispel your boar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then I'm pretty much ready to get out of here.
All right.
But should we, well, doesn't matter what the normal's done, I guess. But how did he know about the Black Marsh when no one else did?
Are you asking
Should we?
Gorham?
Yeah, I'm asking Gorham this.
Okay.
Yeah. Perhaps we should ask him some questions. Oh.
You can ask him some questions if you want to.
I don't particularly care. I just want to get out of here, to be honest.
Okay.
All right then.
You guys currently, the gnome is just sort of like looking up and he's like stripping off some of these rags around his face and stuff like this. Looks back at you, looks at Crowley and Artyom, who had threatened them pretty severely, and just recoils a little bit, starts like taking a couple of steps back to the house. Well, bye. And just runs inside.
Hey, wait, where are you going? I have questions for you. I need to know who these people were.
You just see him exhausted, like just hanging his head, just like, no.
What are you talking about? They said 10 platinum in it for you.
Right, yeah. Holds his hand out.
Yeah, come on, you think I was born yesterday? Like, who are these people? Like, make me a list so I know who they are. If you know if they have any kin or, just
What
name and maybe
people?
the people that are in the village who passed away, who died. No, shit. A little girl's family, I don't know.
As far as I know, most of these guys were just loners. The remains are still out there. He has not gone out to clean them up. There's still some, just sort of the stink of death hanging around. They were mostly just loners. This is sort of like a retirement place for most of us. I mean, I've never seen children of any sort come by.
All right, fair enough. Well, here, have 10 platinum. Build the place back up. I'll go get 10 platinum from the ship and from the chest and give it to him.
Okay. In him 10 platinum, he just sort of sits there a moment, looks back at you, thinking there's some sort of catch with this, so he doesn't like pocket it quite yet. He just stands there still.
Well, it came from a dragon, so do with that information what you will. I'm just gonna grin at him. But hey, I mean, this is okay, all right. Long story. All this stuff happened because of a dragon messed some things up, and they gave us some money for to make things right with the people who get hurt or killed or whatever. So hey, you suffered. Here's 10 platinum. And thanks for looking after the girl. I really appreciate that.
Right.
Why are you looking at me like I just spit in your face? I just gave you 100 gold worth of... I mean, never mind. Don't worry about it. You know how much 10 platinum is.
Yeah, he's sort of just in shock. He's sort of still holding his hand out with this 10 platinum just sort of stacked there haphazardly. Okay,
well.
Okay. As if he's expecting you to either take it back or hit him when he pockets it. He's not sure what's happening.
It's 2 for flinching.
Okay.
Well,
but yeah, you're welcome. Sorry, everything happened. And thanks for pointing us in the right direction.
Well, I didn't have much of a choice, but yes.
Okay. Well, I don't even know your name. If you told us, goodbye forever. I'll just walk away from it.
He says, as you say that, he says, I think I prefer it that way. waves you away. Yeah, he starts looking around. Shit. Goes back inside for a second. All right. Kaushik, you sort of have Lydia in your arms right now, Crowley. This is on you guys. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I was going to say, while all this has been happening, I'm going to have been kind of playing a game with Lydia. I'm going to have told her, all right, we have to get you ready to fly on an airship, okay? So I'm going to turn around with my back to you. Just secure your arms around my neck, all right?
Okay. Sort of feels out and locks around your neck.
Right, and I'm kind of tall, so I'm going to stand up. It's going to be like she's in the air. And I'm going to be like, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm just going to take off running as fast as I can. I'm going to go, phew! Like
she trips.
I'm not gonna trip. Don't make me trip.
With a decent check, Lydia maintains her grip onto your neck and also brings her legs to assist. She wasn't really expecting you to take off, but hanging on, you take off back towards the ship. Norgog sort of twisting his necklace and just looking at it says, right then, well, some good done for the day. We're going straight to Sharn now?
We should make a quick detour. Well, I mean, I could make it. Does anybody have a way of getting a hold of of Erish, perchance?
No.
I don't know.
I don't
No,
Well, he sent me a letter saying that he's on the boat and he had to take it from passage because it was not safe there. But I was thinking I could just go fly out and find him, but it's not very easy trying to find a boat that's invisible. So.
Right. He just says he just left with it. That was it.
Well, he said he went to a particular place, but I don't know how long it takes to get there. And I can probably fly pretty fast.
I mean, we have a map, so we could figure that out probably.
We could simply fly over there if we really wanted to.
Yes. Do we wish to? Where is it? Would we be dropping off Lydia on the way?
That would be the intention if it's where. Actually, it's time for the map.
Let's look at the map.
Crowley unfurls the map.
Oh no, not roll 20. That's not what we want.
I will let the party know. He said that he was heading to the southern coast of the Siren Lake, or Silver Lake, excuse me, is a little bit of a smudge. And to message him when they make it closer to Sharn, and that he would find us. But I don't think he's going to be expecting to look up. So.
Yes.
I do have sending. Is it possible to use that, Jones?
Is that a range?
Read it out to me, and we will find out.
That's 20 words, or 25.
Yeah, you send a short message of 25 words or less to a creature with which you are familiar. The creature hears the message in its mind, recognizes you as the sender if it knows you, and can answer in a like manner immediately. The spell enables creatures with intelligence scores of at least 1 to understand the meaning of your message. You can send the message across any distance and even to other planes of existence, but if the target's on a different plane than you, there's a 5% chance that the message doesn't arrive.
Okay.
That's fucking cool.
That is pretty cool.
This bitch got email.
That's
She
me
actually
pulling
does
out
have
my
the text.
that's me pulling out my phone and texting.
Third level spell every time.
All right. That would work, Kaushik. Would you like to do that? Yes? No?
Sorry, I had a menu that kept popping up over my microphone button, so I couldn't unmute it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll bring it up to Arkham and ask him if he wants me to do it.
Okay. Who's going to be our Travis Willingham?
Who's going to count? Who's going to be the counter? Oh man, no volunteers.
I was sure.
Listen,
I mean,
ready, go.
counting is really
All
hard.
right, Crowley's ready.
Yeah, I can't
You have
count.
25 words. What would you like to say to Eris?
Okay, so we're trying to find out. Yeah, we're going to try to find out where he's at, because I can fly to him as a big, long beak. I actually don't know the name of this dinosaur. Longbeak is its name. So Longbeak.
Mhm. That's what they used to call it in the halfling tribes you were roaming with. Used to call it Longbeak.
So yeah, we just need to know where he's at, and maybe like hey, I'll come by and see you. So don't make the ship invisible if he's in a safe spot or something like that. He said he was going to Silver Lake, which is a little bit to the west of Marketplace by quite a bit. So I might not even have made it there yet.
Okay. Are you writing out your message? That's not fun.
Got a plan.
Where did he say it was that he was going Silver Lake?
Yeah,
Correct.
he is apparently going to Silver Lake.
He was sailing towards the southern shore of Silver Lake.
Southern Shore.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Get the Eldritch Groves in there as well. Well, Kaushik is sitting there figuring out her words and stuff. You got it?
I think so.
Okay.
I didn't count them, so here's hoping.
Okay.
I'm going to clarify first. I'm going to say, it's Kolshik. Have you made it to Silver Lake? We'll come by to see you, so if it's safe, please leave the ship visible.
Okay.
Was that the correct number?
Yeah, it was less than 25.
Perfect.
Lovely.
Wonderful.
She didn't slow down her cadence at all. She was like,
Yeah, it was just like that was over there like.
Sorry, everyone.
Yeah, Kaushik sent her message, but she made it in under 25 words. You get a response back after a minute. It takes a few seconds to hear. Kaushik, it's good to hear from you. It's been a while. Yes, I've been made it to Silver Lake. I have told Artyom to let me know when you get closer to Sean. Currently, if I am to meet you somewhere, I could meet you in Ardev. And that's it.
I am going to relay that message to the party. However, that was my only third level slot left for the night. So if we want to respond again, it'll have to be tomorrow.
Technically, we did benefit from a long rest earlier, so you should have all your spell
Oh,
slots.
did
back.
we?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. Give me a second.
I'm on it, don't worry.
While all of this is going on, DM, I've been looking around the ship for a place to set up a workshop.
Okay. Would you like to set up a workshop in sort of the cargo area or near the rooms like you sort of did on the boat?
If there's like a, I don't know how the rooms on the ship are set up, so if there's like an extra bedroom or something, I would prefer to use that. But if we don't have an extra room, then yeah, I would just set up a section of the cargo area, whichever.
There are 10 rooms on this ship, 10 regular rooms. You find one of the back ones. You will have to move the bed and some of the furniture out of here, but easily enough. If you'd like to start working on that, that's easy.
That is what I'm doing.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything specific that the party wants me to say to Arish other than the fact that we'll contact him once we're closer to Sharn?
Did you let him know we have an airship?
I did not, but I can.
no, tell him we're look up.
Which city was it that he said that he could meet us in?
Ardev.
Which is a very landlocked city, so I don't know what happened to the boat.
Did you hear the entire Arish message?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I'm not going to write out message number 2, so let's hope it works out. We'll contact you once we're closer. Until then, stay safe. P.S. We have an airship. That's it.
What's happened to the boat?
Oh, what happened to the boat?
Hey.
Oh, what happened to the? No. It takes a minute for a message to come back. But but then you hear, all right. If you're going to meet me here in Ardev, I will stay until I see you. I suppose I'll keep my eyes to the sky. The boat is hopefully safe. That's it.
We're forming a fleet.
I will relay the message again, and I will emphasize. He says the boat is hopefully safe.
Okay. I mean, I trust the Irish to be responsible with the boat. Probably more so than me.
Probably more than most of us, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
If we get Irish, we've got Norgog. That's 9 rooms we have, right?
I mean, is it closer to take Lydia where we need to take her, or to go to Ardev first?
Yes. Yeah.
If we look at the map, you guys are pretty much closer to this northeastern corner of the Eldritch Groves. Ardev is to your southwest, all the way over here. And then where Lydia needs to go is pretty much on the opposite side of Breland. New Kyrie, which is way down here, closer to the Mornland.
We can pick up Irish and then go to New Kyrie. It's
We can.
At this moment, Norgog speaks up. He says,
"Oh yes, sure.
Listen, I'm happy to do this, but I do have to make my way."
That is true. We can put you closer toward your destination and give you. Because we said we'd get you to Sharn at least.
I mean, simply, I do not want to take a child with us to Sharn, quite frankly. It will be probably quite dangerous.
Especially a child traveling with us.
Indeed.
So understanding is I want to be. I just have to reiterate, this is something that I need to do. So if you're going to Ardev and then to New Kyrie and then to Sharn and that's the end destination, we may need to split ways. So I can head straight there.
I can fly now, so I can take you to Sharn, drop you off, and head north to Ardev, and hang out with Irish until the boat gets there.
I mean, worst case, we could drop you by a major road with some money for a lightning rail passage or something.
But he's helped us out this whole time. We're just like, okay, well, bye, guys, just walk.
I just thought.
Oh wait, I'm not there. Never mind. Ignore me. Ignore everything I said.
It is whatever will work best, I guess.
Do you want to split the party?
I do not think
that's a OC question.
Dipping. Do not think going off, because how far would that be? How long can you fly for?
I can fly for
days.
If I take a short rest, I get them back, so I'll just have to take breaks in between.
Yeah, what's faster?
How long would it take you? How long would it take you to fly him all the way to Sharn?
Yeah, because it's being said that you're faster than us, but how fast are you compared to the airship? That's the real question.
Yeah, so I'm like, Gandalf was asking for like an actual estimation of how long it would take him to fly all the way to Sharn from here.
I have an 80-foot movement speed as a bird, or as a quest.
What's the measurements? Do we have measurements for this map?
Yeah.
Apparently, a airship in Eberron can fly at 20 miles per hour.
Oh, okay.
Fast ass ship.
They would outpace the Quetzal, not only just due to speed, but because it doesn't have to rest. So the airship would absolutely move much much faster than you could.
For some reason, I was thinking that the airship boat had a movement of 20, not 20 miles per hour.
Oh, jeez. We're like,
sputtering along.
Listen, we have the airship, but I know you guys don't want to get caught using it. You can drop me off a couple of miles outside of Marketplace, and I can make my way from there. There's a lightning rail there. That was the plan for y'all to begin with before this, so...
Well, how long are you going to be in Sharn?
For the foreseeable future. And he sort of gives you an exasperated look.
Well, I'll be able to meet you there. I went to talk with those other Druid people in any case. Maybe I can, yeah.
I'm sure the Corto will want to talk to you too. You're an interesting fellow.
Do you want to take this tentacle with them to know that the world could end next year?
God, no.
Okay, we'll keep it with us.
Yes.
Sorry. Maybe I should. I don't know. Again, I'm not good with it.
Maybe you should let them know that there is danger and proof is on the way.
I will absolutely. Well, the plan was to tell them what happened. I'd rather not have that in my pocket.
Hey, understandable.
Fair enough.
I do have someone I could show that tentacle to, though, but later. But Speaking of which,
oh,
where did Milo go?
He's looking for something. I'm sure.
You hear clangs and bangs and shuffling coming from the airship.
Milo, what are you doing to my ship?
Milo comes to the door with a mattress in hand. Go. Scene. Go.
Our ship. With the communism.
Where the Carnathians.
Comrade.
Our
If you-
ship.
If you want me to make things for you, I need a place to make them.
I don't need you to make me anything, though. Build it in the cargo hold, god damn it.
that's a
I
dangerous
have a bad
place.
feeling. I have a bad feeling about this cargo hold.
Cargo
very
hold is
dangerous.
the dangerous
Cargo
portion of entire.
I don't like cargo holds.
And I don't know. I think it's Crowley chose it. It's his ship. We don't have to do any of this carnism stuff.
Carnism stuff. Oh my goodness.
So,
Okay.
so very well.
We've
We
got
go
a
to
lot of moves to
Marketplace
make.
and then to our dev.
Damn.
Okay.
I wish the DM could just make a line, just do a loop. This is the path we're going to be taking.
Well, you're going from a few miles outside of Marketplace, and that's where are you going from there? Are you going Ardev first or to New Kyrie?
Ardev and then New Kairi, and then back to Sharn. I think just a nice.
So you're tracing a Z across all of Breland. You're going to hit outside of Marketplace. You're going to hit Ardev over here. You're going to go to New Kyrie, and then you're going to hit Sharn.
Sure.
Let's go.
I'll speak to my navigator to figure out if there is a better path to go around. Well, I'll look at the map again later.
Unfortunately for you guys, there's no real good solution here. Erish is on the western side of Breland. New Kyrie, where Lydia has told you her parents are, on the eastern side. It's just the truth to it. There's no real good route to take. You're going one place and the other. It just really depends on, do you want to drop the girl off before you get to Erish, or because Erish did say he would meet you in Ardev.
What's closer to? I assume Ardev is closer to Sharn than New Kyrie.
Marketplace. Yeah, so that might Marketplace, Kyrie, Ardev.
Koshik seems to be able to send these messages fairly frequently. Could we not simply go to New Kyrie first and tell him that we are making a pit stop and that he will have to sit tight for a little bit, and then we will go to Ardev and get him? Yes.
Yes.
Nah.
These are. It is not the. We have a,
I'm looking at. I was still trying to find. I was still trying to find all the names on the map. So I was like, where am I?
Let me share math real quick.
But I've got it now. I see them all.
we go to New Kyrie.
Yeah, New Kyrie.
Settle the deal with her parents,
Mhm.
and then Ardev to get Erish, and then Sharn.
Look over to Milo. You stave away Sharn just a little bit longer.
I'm not out there.
I look
Clang,
at the ship.
clang,
We
clang,
stave
clang.
away Sharn just a little bit long.
Yeah, I mean, if
We're gonna have a whole dirge for when we finally get to Sharn.
Okay. Do you have a
Very
plan?
well.
Yeah, I think we have a more respectable plan now.
Okay, wait, hold on. So if we're looking at this, where the fuck is Marketplace? Because we were on our way to Marketplace
It was
anyway.
up north, and I think it looks like Marketplace is closer to New Kyrie, at least from what I was looking at
Yeah,
earlier.
so we'll kind of on our way, just kind of drop off Norgog.
Marketplace is on the way. That is just south of you guys. He asked you to. He said you could drop him a few miles out so you're not seen, and he'll just walk the rest of the way. And then New Kyrie is southeast of there.
Okay, so that would make sense. Okay. Very well.
Excellent.
Sounds good to me.
All right, roughly looking at this, if we go from where we are to Marketplace to New Syrie to Ardev, that will be, hold on, about 1,150 miles.
What is that clicking noise you were making, Artu?
This is navigator tools.
He's got the fucking abacus out. That sounds very far, but I mean, how many days travel? Ish.
Let's see here. What the heck? My calculator just went completely spazzing on me.
Your what?
I'm not talking in
His
a
abacus.
Russian accent. My abacus was like, oh, I fell over. Sorry about that.
If I'm not mistaken, non-stop travel will be about 60 straight hours of just travel. That's not stopping or any time spent in places. That is just time in the air.
So this is
That's
probably
only a
closer
few
to
days.
like
Yeah.
5 days total.
Right.
Ish. Like really like highballing time.
Right.
That's not bad.
It's not terrible. It's not bad at all. So that seems like quick.
And I can like sometimes, if we take a break, I can just fly out and get us some food, come back, and we can have like fresh fish.
Sounds fair.
Okay.
Pretty well.
You guys bringing Lydia up onto the ship, Crowley taking your place, everybody sort of getting their new gear together, and what have you. You guys lift off heading towards Marketplace, and you make it there. At this point, it's probably later in the evening, and it is nighttime when you sort of get south of the Eldritch Groves. Landing a few miles out, Crowley, I would like you to give me I'm going to say a stealth check to try to keep it low to the ground, getting close to Marketplace and letting Norgog off.
I'm
Wait a
glad
second. How long of a trek is that from there to there? That's 175 miles. Hold on real quick.
What in the goddamn?
I'm glad I recently became proficient with stealth.
Okay. While we're making this trip, I would like to be using my staff on Bill.
Okay.
What the hell are you doing with that poor dinosaur?
Oh yeah.
Also DM it's a 24.
24, very nice. A couple of miles out, you start to see the light of Marketplace. Every now and again, the blue streak of a familiar lightning rail flying through. You land. Norgog says, well, hopefully you won't be too long. But thank you. If I wouldn't have come with you, I wouldn't have been able to stop that. So thank you.
If you hadn't come with us, we may be dead.
I might have actually been dead and stayed that way.
Good
question,
Norgog,
Jones.
you have some of this platinum. I mean, you got sick as well as everyone else, right? Sorry.
That's okay. Does Norgog wear armor?
He wears like hides, like thick hide, black hide leather with the dragon on face on the back of it.
I'm gonna go in for a handshake and push the the dragon scale meal into his chest. You hold on to this. May it bring you safe travels.
He just looks down at it. Gorham, that's Are you sure?
Aye, lad. Very sure.
You push it into his arms, takes it, sort of folds it over one. He reaches his arms out and sort of leans down to you and gives you the big, just fucking Arnold and clasp. He says, very well. I'll see you shortly anyways. Hopefully I don't ding it up too badly before then.
I'm sure you'll take good care of it.
Well, he says, he takes the necklace he found off earlier, sort of looks at it. I'm not going to leave you empty-handed. This is nice. I don't know what use you might have for it, but a little trinket nonetheless. Sort of hands it off to you. You hold it, and it's it is a black, like, onyx carving of an elephant.
I'll wear it with honor, friend.
Well, thanks all. I'll see you next time. And then, in
Yeah.
trying to be cool like Gandalin, he is going to jump off the side of the
dear
boat.
God. Oh,
Lord,
Lord.
no!
Dust sort of going out.
Lord,
All right.
yes!
with an 18 on the roll. And
Not
he
as
makes his
light
way off
footed.
towards Marketplace.
Up and into the air like bandits.
Rising into the air, making your way out as fast and as low as possible, getting away from Noga, making your way to New Kyrie, heading south. Everybody sort of on the bow of the ship now, or Milo's still getting his lab set up down below. Light breeze on the ship, though the wind wards do help with it. No strong breezes. The cool wind does feel nice. No stinking marshes or anything like that. Some of your new gear. And a little bit of a worry in the back of all of your minds as you all sort of picture and think about the horde that was anchoring itself to that realm behind you, and somewhat of a time restraint is now on you as this ticking time bomb is slowly clicking its way behind you guys in the Eldritch Groves. And that is where we will end tonight's session. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you stopping by. Hope you enjoyed that not so combat ridden experience. It's been a while since we just had a decent role playing session, and these guys got some cool loot and a lot of gold and stuff. So yeah, we will see you guys next time. We'll be live on Monday for our Ghost of Saltmarsh campaign, Wednesdays for Tavern Talks or just hanging out and doing D&D stuff, and then Saturdays we're here 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're doing our Eberron campaign. Catch us next time. Bye guys, much love.
Bye.
Raid time?
Oh, raid time. Stick around.
Raid
If
time,
you're
raid
in the
time.
chat, stick around. Who's here? Who's here?
Raid time,
Who's here?
raid
I'm
time.
already gone. I'm
Stay
already
in the
gone.
chat.
I'm here. I'm
Get
there.
back
I'm
in
in
here,
the chat. Let's go. Let's raid somebody.
Stay in the chat. We gotta raid someone.
Oh,
Who are we gonna raid, guys? Let's see.
let's get
Stick
him.
around in the chat. Let's see some
Who's
more.
on?
Let's see some Pog Champs in chat if you're still around. We need to raid someone.
Poggers. I don't know how to do that.
How about we raid our friends at the Welcome Inn? Does that
Yeah,
sound
I
good to
like
everybody?
them.
Yeah.
Okay, we are gonna
Let's
raid.
go.
I got
The
a welcome in
Welcome Inn.
gifted sub, so I've got a bunch of welcome in. What are they called? The little emoji things.
Nice. Everybody ready up and start the raid. There's 7 viewers. There's 10. Awesome. Let's give these guys a bunch of love. Drop them a follow if you have not
Get
yet.
them.
We are going to raid. Everybody click that raid now button. If y'all see it, everybody see the raid now?
Woo!
We're raiding. Go. Bye.
let's
Much
go.
love, guys. Bye.
Let's get them. Bye. Oh, and they're just starting too. Perfect timing.
31 viewers, oh my.
Oh my.
Hey, you want a tea, Warlock?
Oh, snap.
Oh man. Alright, on that note, I gotta get my stuff in the car and get on the road. I will hop back in Skype on my phone once I'm in the car.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Jones,
See you in a
I was going
second.
to ask, does that ship have a captain's cabin?
Yes,
This
it
fucking
does.
guy right here. Oh
Excellent.
man, I can't wait for the beginning of the next episode.
Why is that?
Did you?
The
What'd you
shenanigans will
cast?
start.
What'd you cast on that fucking dinosaur?
Oh, I
King?
dropped 5 points of that staff immediately. Don't you worry about it.
Is that the one that makes him intelligent? Like gives him like he can
I
talk.
cannot confirm or deny these allegations.
So,
Guys.
because I didn't write
What
it
the
down.
fuck is that guy doing?
What did you say? The
Flame
the
tongue.
sword was?
Flame. I can't read my own handwriting. I think it's flame tongue. It's either flame
Flame
tongue.
tongue. Yeah, it's a flame tongue.
Yeah, flame
That's
tongue.
what I think it is. Yeah. Bruh, you cast Awaken on that bitch. Let's go.
Oh God, did you?
This is fucking cool.
Oh, yeah, brother. Dude, we should get a headband of intellect.
Yeah, he has an intellect of 10.
And you said longsword or greatsword?
Yo, can you cast that on a person?
No.
Oh wait, they have to have an intelligence of 3 or less. Damn it, no, you can't. It has to be
That's
3
you,
or less.
That's
Can't
you.
use